just to make sure I'm good on the sound.
Yeah.
What up, family? How y'all doing? What's the dilly daddy? Today I'm back here with my boy Jamal. I'm Javon. And today we're gonna be talking about manhood. Manhood, what is manhood now, what it used to be, how it's changed, and what are we gonna agree on as manhood? I'm gonna get started, man. You know, it's some things today that, in my personal opinion, that I think brothers kind of show off and stick their chests out as men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some brothers ain't necessarily, they don't own a home, they might not own a car, they may not see their children a lot, but for some reason, if brothers can get some jewelry, nice shoes, nice clothes, some bitches, we kind of feel like we're proving that we're a man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I as me, I remember in my family, like, we used to sit around and I used to hear men talk about drinking. Boy,
Yeah.
you can't drink with me. You can't drink with me, boy. You can't drink with me. And it's almost like they would actually laugh at somebody when they got too drunk.
Yeah.
My uncles and them would do shit like put hot sauce in a nigga hand and, you know, nigga wipe his mouth. They used to actually play drunk games, grown ass men, like put shaving cream on a nigga hand or put mustard on your lip or something. And I used to see my family do that. I thought it was so crazy. So I never got caught up in that. But I do know I got caught up in certain things that I thought made me, I don't know if it made me feel like more of a man or just made me feel like I was looking like more of a man to people. What do you think about that? You growing up with a stepfather and knowing your real father. So I'm pretty sure your perceptions and what you would talk about being a man. And so speak on that. Let's get into that. You talk about that.
I never saw like you were saying, somebody putting hot sauce on their hand and putting it on somebody's face with. I ain't never seen no shit like that. Like the men, they would sit around, they would drink. Like my granddad would sit up on the porch, he have his jug of moonshine, or whatever, have his shirt off, his belly out. He's sitting on the porch drinking, him and his buddy, and they be talking or whatever, right? Watching us run around. My dad, him and his friends, they sit in the back, drink, have a beer, whatever. They might give us a little shot of it and have us out there boxing with gloves or whatever, right? And they say you can box drunk, you can box sober, you can fight sober.
So they really, you could look at that as kind of like as a way of toughening y'all up.
Yeah.
But kind of like, okay, if you want to have a shot of this good shit that we have, I never forget, my uncles gave me some liquor when I was probably about 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah.
And it was on a Thanksgiving at my mama's house. So we was eating at my mama's house first. Then everybody was gonna walk up to my grandma's house. So they drinking Seagram's gin. And it definitely wasn't no manhood lesson. Yeah. Like if you can box drunk, you can box. It was like, what's that y'all drinking? Boy, that ain't nothing but gin. And you know, as a kid, can I have some? Pour your own troubles.
Yeah.
So they gave me a little cup, and I don't know how much fucking gin to pour. So I'm calling myself gonna pour enough in the cup that looked like they cup.
Yeah.
And they like, drink it on down. And they was just laughing.
Nah.
And I never forget, I probably had what was probably about 3 shots of gin as an 8, 9-year-old boy. And I didn't drunk it down. And then we walk into my grandma's house about 1.5 miles.
Yeah.
I done got drunk and I'm staggering up the road. And they just, now you're gonna learn, goddamn it, you shouldn't need to drink. They hit me, they just laughing. They're doing so many things to, like, I guess in a way discourage me from drinking. But I was just like, who the fuck gives a kid some fucking liquor?
We didn't get liquor. We got, so at first it was O'Doul's.
Yeah.
And it was a pseudo drunk. It was a pseudo high. We didn't know we wasn't drunk. We just thought we got some beer. And then our mind, we drunk. We out there, oh man. We sitting there boxing or whatever, right? Now, mind you, these are not just like little boys that got their dad, but these are single parent mama boys that used to hang out with us.
So they feel like they schooling them too in a way.
They coming back there with us. Like when it came to football, basketball, like the men, like I seen this lady, she was telling women that the village don't exist anymore. It takes a village to raise a child. And she was like, the village ain't free anymore. And she's right. When I was growing up, the village was free. Like my stepdad would get a van. I remember we had this van, matter of fact, this 16-passenger van. and he would load everybody up, all the boys in the neighborhood. We would go to Emerald Point. I was telling you about this a while back.
Yeah, I remember.
We'd go to a place like Emerald Point or whatever, right? But during the weekend, sometimes we'd be in the backyard, and they give us like a Old Duel, half Old Duel or Zima. Remember those?
Yeah, I remember Zimas.
And we drink half of it, and we think we drunk, so we out there boxing. Now, as we got older, they give us a little bit of Schlitz malt liquor. Bulls, those. So we get a little bit of that, and we be out back, and we be fucked up.
So let me ask you something. One thing I noticed that the men didn't do back when I was growing up, maybe because it was less money. Like you said, your dad and your uncles took y'all on camping trips with the kids.
Yeah.
Do you remember men ever just going to Vegas together and like men private trips without the kids? I never saw that growing up. Yeah. Like I never saw that growing up. Like when we went to Colombia, you know what I'm saying? I never saw that. Like it's just so many. I want to get into one of the number one things that I think has changed. And you speak on this because you had a father and you had a stepfather growing up. I don't remember the men in my family wearing their money. Like my granddaddy was kind of known. It was like a secret. Ellie Clark got money. That nigga got land. It's like he was the type of nigga. I wouldn't call him a loan shark, but my granddaddy was retired. And if you need to borrow $30, $40, my granddaddy give you that shit till you write it down on his little thing. And it was kind of like everybody know you could go borrow $40, $50 from my granddaddy.
Yeah.
But I never recalled him unless he had fancy name brand hats and stuff that I didn't know. My granddaddy didn't wear watches. He didn't wear jewelry. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I just remember this nigga might have had 2 suits and 1 nice pair of shoes, a couple of hats.
Yeah.
So did the men in your family like wear their money or like?
Yeah, it was different though. Yeah. It's different. It's like, you know, like I got a nice watch or whatever, right? My granddad used to have nice watches and stuff. I didn't know what Pierre Cardin was.
Yeah.
I didn't know what half the shit, like a Citizen watch. My granddad had a Citizen watch. I didn't know what that was. He got like these neckerchiefs, custom made.
Yeah, handkerchiefs.
Yeah.
With the name on.
Yeah, with his initial and stuff.
Yeah.
They were made with
cufflinks and shit.
They were Pierre Cardin.
So that was like flossing back in the day.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you don't know, you don't know. It's kind of like Armani, Gucci, Versace, and all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Think about how it was introduced to the Black community through hip hop. But how those dudes come in contact with it? Military. So
speak on that. You lived in Italy like 7-8 years. Now Italy is the epicenter of the world for fashion. So
Milan.
Do they walk around wearing Gucci and shit and all that shit? Do the Italians wear that shit, or is that?
It's different. It's different. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like Rockaware. You know, like Levi's and stuff like that, right? You got different, like a million different clothing lines. And it's expensive to wear Gucci and Versace over there to them.
It is.
But for us, it's not as expensive as it is over here.
Like, break that down. So you say it costs them more to buy.
Yeah, because of the economy.
And they own. Oh, yeah, because it's more mainly a tourism. They don't export none.
Yeah, but then also the economy. All right, so you buy a pair of Versace jeans over here, right?
Yeah.
A pair of Versace jeans over here might cost you like $300 or $400.
Yeah.
You go over there, it's $100.
But it's still expensive
to
them.
Still expensive to them,
just like money.
Just like $100 to the average person for a pair of jeans is expensive to them. Most of the people walking around with Armani, Gucci, and Versace over here, that shit fake.
I don't know nothing about none of that shit, so I don't be knowing if it's fake or not.
I know. I'm just saying though, like if you ask a woman that got a Birkin bag, how much that bag costs?
If it ain't 50,000,
if it ain't 20,000 or more, it's fake. I know people that wear fake watches, fake Rolexes, right?
Mm-hmm.
The average person don't know the difference between fake and real.
So let me ask you this: growing up, when I see my granddad and grandma get dressed up, right? I don't know. She could have had on some Alexander McQueen. He could have had on some Pierre Cardin or whatever. But it was a situation where what they had on was a basic black or blue suit.
Yeah, but it's just not a basic black or blue suit.
No, what I'm saying is, what I'm starting to realize, they didn't wear leisure clothes. They had work clothes or dress clothes. So on a regular day where you could wear your, like now we can wear our clothes on a Tuesday. Like, yo, it's a Tuesday. I got on some Ferragamo jeans and I can do this because this is like regular daily clothes. Yeah. Whereas then was like Monday through Friday, overhauls, work clothes. I got on my nanny outfit. And then on Saturday and Sunday, when we got dressed, it could have been an Italian name brand, some fancy shit. Yeah. We just don't know it in the pictures because they just wore suits and dresses.
We were kids. We weren't looking at it that way. Now, the question is, why were they wearing suits?
I guess they was just keeping up with the white man.
You got to impress them every day, right? That's who's putting food on your plate.
Yeah. And I remember my granddaddy had told me they had something called vagrancy laws. And we was I never forget, we was watching Andy Griffin when I was a little boy. My granddaddy, he would get drunk and laugh at the TV and talk to the TV. And he would say, oh, Otis, be clean. He'd like, look at Otis a wino, and he be clean. And you know, I asked my granddaddy, like, what does that mean? He was just like, boy, you can't walk around looking like a bum. You'll get arrested, especially a black man.
Right.
So when I think back, my granddaddy, once he retired on a fucking Tuesday, that motherfucker had on some suspenders, some slacks. It was just almost like, and then as I got older, I Googled vagrancy laws. It's literally like, you know how we be sitting around at the store and shit with a beer or something in our hand? Yeah. It's like this motherfucker look like he ain't at work. He don't look like he up to no good. Yeah. We gonna lock this motherfucker up and put him on the chain gang.
Codes.
Yeah, and they literally, and the more I researched it, they literally, back in the day as a black man, your ass could get locked up and end up on a chain gang for 20 years just because you put the wrong fucking outfit on.
When was your granddaddy born?
My granddaddy was born in 1919. I remember him saying that.
Right. My granddad was born in 1915, so around the same time, right? At that time, if you walk by a white man, you got to tip your hat. Mm-hmm. If you see a white woman and y'all on the same side of the street, you better cross that motherfucking
the goddamn street
or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So they had these laws. So Plessy versus Ferguson. I don't know if anybody saw my shirt last week. It says separate but equal.
Yeah. That's where that come from.
Plessy versus Ferguson, 1869, where the United States government legally sanctioned segregation.
Yeah. Y'all motherfuckers can have equal facilities, but it's gonna be separate. Almost like the back of the bus is just as good as the front.
But you know what's so crazy?
The goddamn front.
But you know what's so crazy? but here's the crazy part, right? In hindsight being 2020, that was actually good for us.
You goddamn right. We gonna have a show about that one day. Yeah. I want to get to off topic.
Yeah.
But let's moving forward, thinking about the name brands and the clothes. So say for example, why don't you, having been in Italy, why don't you subscribe to the name brands and whatnot? Because right now you got on Savage Life. You said that's your homeboy.
This is Savage Mind. Go Savage Mind 23 on Instagram. That's my homeboy's clothing line.
So let me ask you something. How much did his hat cost you?
This hat cost me like $30.
Okay, $30. So that's comparable. I'm assuming if you go to the mall and buy a fucking New York Knicks hat, it costs about $30, right? Yeah. So you paid $30 to wear an unheard of name brand, which is your man, and how much does t-shirt cost?
This was like $25-$30.
Okay, so right there, that's almost like saying, now I wear this, I get my t-shirts in a pack, George, 6 t-shirts for like $20. So but I like black t-shirts. It's not because I like black t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? So you got on basically $60 worth of your man's gear. What makes you not want to have on a Nike hat or some shit that we know that's more reputable than Savage Mind?
Jay-Z said it best. Why would I buy Belvedere when Puff got Ciroc?
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, why would I support somebody else that's not from my community or part of my community when somebody in my community is doing the same thing? Same quality shirts, same quality hat material. So why can't I pay him $30-$40 for a hat?
Yeah, you actually by him. I understand what you're saying. You're saying I should be able to spend my money with my brother, but we everybody understand that point or get that absolute idea.
Well,
what I'm saying is, why don't you want to wear Nike? Why?
Because it's the same material. What I'm saying is,
but you got on that. So say for example,
I got on a pair of Nike shoes because
that's what I'm saying. I always see you with nice sneakers on, but as far as shirts and jeans and hats, I don't never see you with the name brand shit. Why don't you choose to wear name? Or do you buy all motherfucking Savage Life? Or
it varies.
I keep saying Savage Life like Webby. Savage Mind.
It varies, right? So just like Nipsey created the marathon.
Yeah.
Right? And people went out, they bought the marathon clothing. You support Nipsey. Nipsey's from the community. It don't matter if Nipsey giving back to the community, but it's another black man that created something, right?
Yeah.
We always say they do this, they made us do this, they made us do that, right? But yet and still, when we say they, we turn around and give our money to them.
Back to them.
Right back to them. So how are we supposed to ever cross over that plateau of saying ours if we keep giving to them?
Let me say something, man, and people got mad at me since we talking about clothes. My man has shared one of my old videos, and I was using the F word in it because that's before Facebook was throwing me in jail. FAG. And I was angry, man, because I was just, I'm just like, we are talking, it's just like you said about white supremacy. We don't understand a lot of these fashion houses, like Louis Vuitton was created in like 1890 or something. Yeah. Like a lot of these fashion houses, fucking Gucci and a lot of these shits is 100, 150, 200 years old that was out doing slavery. Yeah. A lot of us don't understand that.
Cotton that came.
Yeah.
My mama used to be like, boy, hey, look when Michael Jackson moonwalk. My mama said, boy, stop trying to moonwalk across the floor in them good socks. And I was like, I'm just trying to be like Michael Jackson. She said, boy, that cotton was picked by your great.
So don't fuck them socks up. That cotton was picked. It's funny, man, because as I sit here and think about it, in the video, I was talking because it seemed like we get so happy when we can get one of them gay white Italian designers on our ass or on our breasts. Because that's normally where they put the design on the shirt right here on your ass. And it's like, literally, I was telling my man, and me and him had got to arguing in the video right before the video. And I kind of made the video to him, like a subtweet to him. Yeah. And he was like, oh, you can't afford no Gucci. You can't afford no Louis. And I was like, bro, I can buy that shit. I said, the thing is, I said, you don't see that these are gay white male designers, and now they making the clothes. How can I say this? If I'm a man making clothes for women, right? Yeah. And I want to see women tits and ass, I'm gonna make the waist smaller and the hip. They making the clothes perfect to show our asses off.
I'm gonna pause you on that because let's look back in the 1800s all the way up to the 19 with the ruffled collars and all that stuff or whatever, and they had the knickers
showing their bodies off.
The men were already dressing like that.
Yeah, but they were white men designing these clothes.
But this is what I'm saying.
So he want to see a slave in some big
that's what I'm saying,
Knickerbocker shit.
Because I'm gonna take you back because we gotta go back to Dapper Dan.
Put Mandingo in them high heel shoes, and we want to see what his dick print look like in these Knickerbockers.
We gotta go back to Dapper Dan. Now, who Dapper Dan is, right? So Dapper Dan.
We used to go to New York just to buy that shit.
Right. But if you weren't wearing Dapper Dan, and Dapper Dan wasn't cheap for black people, it was the expensive end for black retail, for black, fashion.
But my aunts had told me growing up, they lived in New York. They went straight to New York. And they would tell me, if you got on some Dapper Dan shit that's Gucci, it's fake because Gucci don't make those.
It didn't matter. It was tailor-made.
Tailor-made by him. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, the fabric. So like I can go to Italy right now. I can get the Louis Vuitton print, the Burberry print, all those prints from the same place that Burberry, Louis Vuitton, and all them. What defines or what categorizes, quote unquote, like fake in some ways, right?
Yeah.
Fake is something that is not real.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't come from the Gucci store and was made by whoever the fuck
they tell them. It's made by the same material.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I get it.
But now you're getting a custom made the way you want it. So Gucci ain't got this.
Gucci ain't got the full Gucci jean suit.
They ain't got in the bucket hat. Now check this out. So like living overseas, when I got to Italy, my homeboys was wearing Iceberg, Prada, Gucci, Fendi, Moschino, stuff like that, right? Yeah. Uomo, like, well, y'all know about Uomo, but these were Italian brands.
Yeah.
And I'm going to the store and I'm buying this stuff. So at 18, 19, 20, I'm already wearing Gucci, Fendi, Prada, but I realized that most of the rappers And most of the people over here were getting it from people in the military. Because guess what I was doing? I was sending it back home. I was sending it back home. I had Coogee sweaters and everything. Like I ain't paying like $1,000 for a Coogee sweater. I'm paying $250 for a Coogee sweater from the Coogee store, from the Coogee factory.
Over there, selling it back over here for $500-600.
And I ain't even selling it. I was just sending it back to my little brother and my older brother and my sisters and stuff like that, right? My little brother didn't even know. He didn't even understand fashion at the time.
Yeah.
And you remember when Cisco came out with the Anything video? He had on that Coogee outfit.
Yeah.
I sent one to my brother, right? He wore it to school. The kids laughed at him.
I remember getting laughed at. My it's funny because that's crazy. My man's older brother was in the military. He was about 10 years older than us. And I'll never forget, he sent on all these Coogee sweaters back in the day. And we ain't know what the fuck they was. And we call them Bill Cosby sweaters.
That's what Bill Cosby was wearing.
That's what we called them, Bill Cosby sweaters. And we went out and bought us some little cheap turtlenecks, and we was rocking Coogee in the 7th, 8th grade, and
they didn't even know it.
Nobody knew we had on some fresh shit. But like people would be like, y'all got on the Bill Cosby sweater. They didn't tease us because it was like the Bill Cosby wore these.
Now check this out. You said how we wear our money, right? They wore their money back then. They wore it in the suits they wore. The older people knew what kind of suit that man had on, where he got it from, how he got it tailored, all this stuff. They knew the difference between a tailored, custom-made suit and one that was bought right out of the store.
That's why I was saying earlier when you talking about leisure clothes, and they didn't wear leisure clothes. So you're looking at it like when a man was dressed, it was a full suit. So if Granddaddy had on a suit and a Stetson hat and a pair of nice shoes, now a man can have on a fucking $20,000 outfit, and it's not even something that's presentable in certain places.
Yeah.
And that's what be bugging me the fuck out. Like, hey, bro, you gonna put $20,000 in an outfit that'll get you profiled by the fucking police in?
Why
this outfit?
Profile?
Huh?
You know why they got that profile, right?
Because what it looked like.
But why did I understand what it looked like, but why did they get the profile?
Because the cops think that shit expensive and he's selling dope.
Right. Because when they lock people up, this is the outfit that the majority of people that they lock up doing this are wearing.
Y'all listen to that because a lot of niggas don't listen to that. I got a homeboy that's a homicide detective and one that's a narc, and he was telling me they look at all that shit. Explain that. I ain't mean to cut you off. Explain that to the people.
So like depending on what you're wearing, what kind of car you drive, the majority of black people only have a certain amount of income. So the average income for a single black male is like $41,000, right?
Yeah.
For a black family, it's like $80,000. So what family making $80,000 can afford to buy their kid a $500 pair of shoes, and an $800 shirt or a $200 shirt, or whatever, right? Not many. So if you have this on, more than likely this is what you're doing. Now the cops don't know it's fake. They don't know it's fake.
That was my point. So the cop looking at this kid, and this kid really 13 years old, but the cops see $200 tennis shoes, gold earrings that's fake, gold teeth that's fake. The cop like, oh, this is a 25-year-old motherfucker.
All of it came from the flea market.
Yeah. So it's just funny how I was saying to my man, like, yo, bro, we grew up when you wore your clothes too big for you.
Yeah.
Now you 40-some years old, you wearing tight pants, sagging. I can see your hips. I can see your shaft or your dick print. I can see your muffin top.
And that's crazy.
It's like
because they have. So I was complaining about the tight jeans.
Yeah.
I started going to the store. It's like, man, every pair of jeans tight, and the woman's like, oh no, you got to ask for a certain cut.
Yeah.
So she started showing me the different cuts.
Yeah, straight cut, slim cut, sport cut, boot cut. Yeah. And
a lot of these dudes just go in and buy them.
Yeah.
They don't even ask for the different cuts.
Or either give me the skinny motherfuckers.
Or they want the skinny.
It just amazes me how somebody my age can remember when Jay-Z said, put on a button up. And we went from wearing jerseys to button ups with jeans and dress shoes. And now that same grown man is out here with some big ass Balenciaga shoes that look like some nursing shoes. He got on some tight ass pants. The motherfuckers came. Look, me and my nigga No Cash went shopping. And this, I swear to God, this is when I knew I got old or when I knew I didn't care. I swear to God, the nigga tried the jeans on, man. The motherfucking jeans already had so many goddamn holes in them. I said, man, how you gonna wear them? They gonna tear after a few times. The nigga bought the jeans, the fucking his whole goddamn thigh was almost out. Both knees was out. Holes and I was just like, okay, now I know I remember used jeans.
Yeah.
They had the patches and shit. When I tell you I'm serious, the motherfucking jeans, I think they was called Amiris.
Yeah.
The fucking jeans, the knees and the thighs was out.
Yeah.
This nigga paid like $500 for them jeans, man.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, people gonna know these Amiri when I go in the club.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. I was like, bro, as good as you could sing.
You know,
I'm like, I'm 6'6", tall and handsome. I think a motherfucker gonna like me for a little bit more than some goddamn holes in my britches.
And you know what? I don't blame these artists that wear this stuff because they're getting it for free and they're getting paid for it. Because if I was getting paid to wear Balenciaga or whatever, I'm gonna wear it. If I was getting paid for it, right?
50 Cent said some of the illest shit I ever heard. And you know, I never really liked 50.
Yeah.
Until we got grown and hear 50 talk as a grown man.
50.
I fuck with him now. But I didn't used to like 50. I felt like he was a disruptor.
Since the power of a dollar, man.
But and you put me on that. But 50 said if all the nigga got is his clothes, he gonna do some whole shit.
You know what else 50 said?
What's that?
He said, you chasing women, then you hustling backwards. Chase the paper, they come with it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
But it's like when that nigga, the subject we on, he said, if all you care about is your clothes, you're gonna do some whole shit. And I got to thinking about that real hard. And it's like, we associate clothes with whole shit. Now, peep this.
Jamal at the door.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Oh shit, let me go get it. Talk to the people.
Yeah. But I see it like people wear based off what they see. Because I remember growing up, Jeru the Damager, people like that wearing certain stuff, and I was like, oh, that's tight. I want a pair of those shoes. Now I would, I'll buy those shoes or whatever, right? But as you get older, you start to think differently about how you purchase items or how you spend your money. Some of us do, some of us don't. And you ask yourself, is it worth it? 18, 19, 20, I was doing that. Like Michelle, you were saying your mom living in Turkey. I remember I was in Turkey back in 2000. And in Turkey, Zippos are really expensive in Turkey. You can take 2 Zippo lighters and buy an authentic leather jacket in Turkey for 2 Zippos. 2 Zippos cost maybe like $40. And you could buy an authentic leather jacket. I used to buy I think I probably bought like 10 leather jackets in Turkey for 2 Zippos. The problem is we know the cost of everything, but the value of nothing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We know how much everything costs. So you see somebody, right? And you see somebody out with Armani, Versace, Gucci, or whatever, and you be like, oh, that's expensive. That costs, but what's the value of it?
Shout out to my man Ricky Kelly. I want to shout out his new documentary. And this is on subject when we talk about it, because we talk about manhood today. He got a documentary out with Mike G from Jungle Brothers. You remember him?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, Mike G is a plumber. My man Ricky he's a plumber by trade too. So Mike G is a plumber. The documentary is about this former worldwide hip hop star who is a plumber now.
Yeah.
So it's like it's called Humble in the Jungle.
Yeah.
So from the Jungle Brothers, because the brother's a humble brother. And I was thinking, imagine how this guy feel to pull up to somebody's house and he's known for having these clothes and just these riches and hey, the plumber here, knock, knock, knock. And
Yeah.
it's like, and they were like, hey, bro, I know you. Bro, you Mike G from the Jungle Brothers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's talk about trades. Let's get into that, because that's something we wanted to talk about too.
Yeah.
Because I can cook.
Yeah.
I can cook. I pretty much can do everything except work on a car. I grew up working, building stuff with my uncles. I know how to lay bricks and shit like that. I just don't like to do it. I grew up on a farm, but I don't have an official trade.
Yeah.
Back in the day, that was kind of like manhood was that was the start of it. What's your motherfucking trade?
Yeah, we started. So with us growing up, my stepdad owned the janitorial service.
Mm-hmm.
So we learned how to wax floors and all this stuff. Strip and wax floors. We learned how to lay down linoleum. tile and all that, or
yeah.
whatever. And then we went in to learn how to do drywall.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, so we got the first Habitat for Humanity house in our town.
Yeah. You mean y'all lived in it or y'all helped build it?
No, we lived in it. That was our house. But
okay, they built it for y'all.
Yeah. Now, with a lot of people, if anybody knows anything about Habitat for Humanity, you actually have to put in a certain amount of hours with building houses.
Yeah, I worked on a Habitat for
right. But I'm saying the people that get
service.
Yeah. I'm saying the people that get the house, though, they still have to work on other people's houses, right? Yeah. So whenever we would go, our hours would count towards my family's hours. So me and my older brother, we would go and do stuff. My sister would come and clean up or whatever, right? Yeah. But we learned how to hang shingles, sheetrock, do the foundation. I learned how to do concrete and all this stuff. So this is like when I was like 13.
Yeah, because it's like now, it's still traditionally when men meet men, we size each other up. What's up? I'm Jamal. I'm Javon. Then the nigga say, well, what you do, bro? Yeah. And then we kind of decide. It's like back in the day, there was a time when a nigga said, I'm a plumber, I'm an electrician, I'm a construction. You knew this nigga was getting money. Like regardless of what he wore, or you like this nigga electrician, this nigga got this, and this nigga get money. Like this nigga plumber, you knew this nigga was getting money.
Some shit now.
So now it's almost like
we about to get some shit.
We
about to get into some shit now.
Yeah, you get whatever.
We about to get into some shit now. So at the end of slavery, who were all the skilled workers in America?
Us.
Who we were, right?
Yeah.
So we are no longer. We didn't give it away. We didn't give it away. It was kind of taken from us.
Mm-hmm.
Because now in the 1970s, 60s, and 70s, you start having an influx of illegal immigration.
Yeah, my uncle said my uncle's a Mason. He said them Mexicans came over here and put skates on their goddamn ass. They was doing shit for concrete for fucking so many dollars a foot, and they came over there and cut their motherfucking
because here's the thing, we didn't have a lot of labor laws.
Yeah.
So you get an illegal immigrant, and that motherfucker work from 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. Ain't no time limit on how long they have to work. They can make as much money in a day. So now all the skilled jobs are going to the illegal immigrants because they're doing it at a cheaper rate. So it kind of undercut it.
Yeah.
So you start seeing more black people start to move more into the factories.
Yeah.
Because factories couldn't really hire illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
But now here's the thing with the factory, because we'll say, oh, Mexicans are hard workers.
And even a factory job having a 401k, like when I was growing up, niggas be like, that nigga I'm gonna graduate, I'm gonna get on at the cotton mill.
Yeah, because they have pension plans.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You know, people equated like hard working with Mexicans because of their skilled labor, right?
Yeah.
But here's the deal. If you didn't have a cap on how much you could work at a factory job and you can make as much money,
you can get it.
Guess what? All those people working at the factory job will be hard workers.
So let me ask you this: why are we talking about this? Because I always want to stay main on the subject. I got some things I want to talk about.
Yeah, this is
first.
Still on that.
We talked about clothes, how men and clothes, how we equate clothes with everything now. So with jobs, right? So break this down. Why do we see the working man as a sucker now? Why in our culture is the working man who we know working? My granddaddy used to tell me, if you work 40 hours a week, you ain't getting in no goddamn trouble. And he used to always say, you can't keep a working man down because a check coming soon. So what I'm saying is, what's up with the working man? Like now in our culture, a plumber, a carpenter, a painter, somebody that we know in our hearts as men, we know getting bread. Why in our culture it's like it's more about college or that fast money as you getting it's almost like the working man is a sucker.
Because those jobs that you're talking about, being a plumber, you're always gonna need a plumber, you're always gonna need an electrician, you're always gonna need.
But these. Why
why
is okay? Why are they suckers now?
So
well, they ain't suckers, but we look at it like that.
The thing is, I know a lot of electricians and a lot of plumbers and all these trades. But even not on my own
HVAC, them niggas get bread.
I own my own service, right? But here's the problem. If you don't have a contract, you're constantly looking for work. You actually work more when you're in those trades than you do at a 9 to 5.
Yeah, because you're rolling.
If you do the math, you're really not making as much if you're working 18 hours a day.
Yeah.
and you start dividing up how much time it took to make $500 or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You're not really making as much, and you don't have as much time.
Remember, I said to you, even when I was cooking, I didn't have a real restaurant, but I was making a whole lot of bread cooking. But when I started adding it up like you, I'm getting up at 4 a.m, getting dressed. I'm at Restaurant Depot at 5, and I don't get off to 1. So I'm working a 16-hour day. So what if I might see 1,000? You know what I'm saying?
You ain't got 400
that is food. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's amazing to me how at one time when I was a kid, I'll never forget when my mama told us she ain't buying no goddamn name brand sneakers till you get in 7th grade.
Shit, my mom ain't buying none of that shit. My mom was like, "You look like a Jordan."
Said you look like a Jordan.
Look like a Jordan.
You might be related to a goddamn the Jordans from Wilmington. You favor them.
Hey, look, you know what's so crazy, man? Like as a man growing up, like even now, I know a lot of people that stress over money.
Yeah.
One thing that my parents never did, they never talked about money around us.
Yeah.
I don't stress out like if I never knew I was poor. I never knew I was raised in poverty until I was in my 20s.
Cause you said that y'all lived in a Habitat for Humanity house, which is a house built from the ground up is good. But in my hometown, if you was the family that got that, they was gonna teach your goddamn ass out of the school. You gotta have it to us.
Yeah.
It's a nice house, but we like
laughed at.
He live in the Habitat for Humanity house. Goddamn, we laughing at that shit.
But that lets you know that we were below the poverty line. I didn't understand that shit because my parents never discussed. When my mom or my dad didn't have the money to pay, like the lights go off, my stepdad didn't never say I ain't have the money for the light. So people like,
I forgot to pay that shit today.
People like, damn. My mom be like, damn, the power coming in fucked up. Now I gotta go down there.
Now she'll get in and put you in the car. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cuss these motherfuckers out. Right. You sitting here, and mama come out sweating like she done cussed the power man out. You go back home, you're like, mama cussed them motherfuckers out. I wonder what she said. It's amazing, man. Like we said, we're talking about clothes, men, and how today it's like I literally, when I had my Benz and my wife, I got it on my wife's credit. CLS 550 Benz. I used to call it the illusion. I'd never been a thief and I'd never been a liar. But I used to tell so many lies getting out of that car by accident. Oh my God, I love your car. What do you do? Carolina Panthers. Oh my God, I love your car. Lawyer.
You know what's so crazy?
I would just say anything because I wasn't working at the time.
And yo, you know why I used to love it? I used to love it when I had that Benz.
Yeah.
So motherfuckers be like, what do you do? I drive Uber.
Yeah. And they look at you like, no, you don't.
I'm like, yeah, I drive Uber. Now I show my app. Like, yeah, I drive Uber.
It's so amazing how, like I said, the clothes aspect of it and then the job. It's like now a motherfucker that got a job. I hear people say it all the time. I came up poor, I got it out the mud. But then a laugh at a nigga when he down. How? You came up out of the mud, but then it's a nigga in the mud and you like, I got what you ain't got. You should be more like, shit, you ain't got to get nobody none, but at least don't walk up to the nigga and say, hey, you in the mud eating Viennas? I'm eating steak now, nigga.
Hey, if you listen to the majority of rap music, it's always about I'm broke and you fuck with them broke niggas or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I was broke, now I got you. You were a broke nigga, like Tupac. Look, everybody loved Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the end of the day, Tupac said, what you looking for some love? You in the club with that weak? He said, what you in the club with that weak scrub looking for some love? Come hang out with the niggas that got money. Mm-hmm. He said, fuck that nigga with the 9 to 5 and that's treating you good. Come over here and hang with the thugs.
Yeah, I only got Tupac one night in town. Break gotta be down.
That's what Tupac said.
So let me ask you something. I want to move to the next subject. Fucking. Because the clothes never got me. And we're going to talk about alcohol and drugs next. Manhood. If you're just tuning in, we talking about some of the things that we feel like black men have been brainwashed by society or by their own men in their family that fucking having some good clothes, fast money, and certain other things. But I'm gonna move right into fucking. I never got caught up in wanting to have the clothes, right? I never got caught up in wanting the jewelry because when I was growing up, to me, my granddaddy used to say, look at your goddamn grandma. All she wanted some goddamn jewelry, some hats, shoes, pocketbooks, and perfume. And as I see men are getting to the point where men are like, I got 30 hats that match 30 shoes. I got 40 different colognes.
Hold on, pause for a minute. Hey, Jamal, come stick your head in the camera real quick so they'll know what Javon looking at when he turned his head and start looking this way.
Okay.
Because that's kind of confusing when you start talking. We having the conversation. They don't see Jamal.
Yeah. Well, that's my man Jamal here. So
that's the other Jamal.
Yeah. So we're going to get him up here. We're going to be doing some things together too. But it's like when I was growing up, my granddaddy used to laugh. My grandma had her little dresser. She had her best perfumes and her little powders and hats, and she would wear them on Sunday. And it's like now brothers seem like we want jewelry. Granddaddy just had a watch, nice pocket watch. It might have been on a gold chain though. We want jewelry. We want rings. We want the hats. We want the shoes. We want the goddamn Sloopy Glooby cologne, Aqua Daka. It's like I'm starting to see a thing where we as men, like as much shit as we can show. Like back in the day, it used to be like a motherfucker pull up. Boy, you got a goddamn 454 with a. It's like niggas was like, you got a motherfucking extra car, nigga, extra truck.
It's just changing.
You working on it, so it's changing.
It's changing because back then niggas had houses too.
Yeah.
Now women can like the stuff the stuff that we could get for women back then. Women can get for themselves now.
Yeah.
So now it shifts. Like everything, manhood, like as far as like how men respond.
Being a provider, you don't have to be as much
off of women. Yeah. Because women set the standard and the tone for dating.
That's a good point.
You can't buy me
a house. It used to be like that. Yeah.
So what you got? I ain't got. I got some Louis Vuitton. I got some Gucci.
I got this.
She can't get no Louis Vuitton and Gucci because she got to take care of the kid.
That's funny. Boy, that's funny.
You know what I mean?
Hey man, that shit is so funny to me because it's true. Like she got a house, you got an apartment. I got a house, nigga. I got a car. What you got? I ain't got.
I got some Louis Vuitton. I got some Gucci. I got this chain. I got this Cuban links chain.
Don't you want some of this? I can afford a little extra with that. But let's caveat into sex because since we talking about that, I never got caught up in the clothes and the money and whatnot, and certain other shit. But the fucking. Now, I want to talk to you having a father and a stepfather growing up. I always say that because it's like showing your father respect and your stepfather respect. Because if I say your father, people might just think it's just your father.
Oh, no, yeah. I got you.
I'm letting you know why I always say that. So say, for example, I felt like getting bitches was part of being a man. Now, I know a certain part of it is like, hey, you're a man. You're going to get horny. You're going to have sexual urges. You're going to want some bitches. But I felt like, yo, if I can get more and more bitches, that was part of being a man. Like that was almost like instilled in me. I'll tell a quick story. I'll never forget. I was about six to 7 years old when I first had my sexual encounter with a girl where like something happened. But I remember when I was about 8 or 9, when it was like something gonna happen. My brothers locked me in the closet with this girl. And she was about 14. And I was scared than a motherfucker. And it was like the saying that back in the day, women be like, oh, my pussy's so tight now. It's tight. Back in the day, girls would be like, I drown your little ass. It was like, I just felt like this girl was older than me and she was gonna drown me. And that was some like, you know what? You used to hear the word drown, right? It was like my pussy was too big for this nigga. And I was scared and she was trying to get to me. I was all over that goddamn closet. I ain't wanted to feel my little meat because I just felt like she was going to drown me.
Yeah.
So when I got out of the closet and she said what happened, my brothers fussed at me like, boy, you better goddamn get right. The girls in the and that's what had happened to them. So in me, I won't turn down no pussy. If she was a big, fat, ugly black girl that smiled at me, I was hollering.
And that's
now you speak on that having a father.
That's the aspect of that's the part of having a single mom or whatever, right? My parents talked to me about sex, and my stepdad and my dad was like, Well, I remember because I remember when I first hit puberty, I was living with my dad then. And he was like, all right, boy, you can make kids now. You make babies now. You got to be careful now. You got to strap that thing up. If you go out here and do something, he's like, I can't tell you not to because I know it's out there. But I can tell you is to protect yourself. My stepdad, the same thing. He was like, protect yourself. He was like, because the consequences of having sex now are kids. And we had like 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old girls around us getting pregnant, especially living in Michigan. I remember one of my friends' mom talking about, girl, you about to be out of school. You better have a baby.
Like letting her know this is how you get right.
Because she in Section 8 housing. You in Section 8 housing.
Girl, you finna graduate. You back in the old folks say you about to school out. You about to age out. So it's time for you to get pregnant. You can get your apartment.
Yeah. So that's you know what I'm saying, that was the natural cycle. My mom used to always tell me, them nappy hell don't want nothing but to get pregnant, have a baby by you, and keep you trapped around.
So let me ask you something real quick. Because this is something that I'm thinking about. Because I always, as I'm thinking with you and talking to you, and you having to living in a 2-parent household, I always realize stuff live on camera as we talking about it. It's like I realize the dysfunction. So say, for example, if you grew up, your stepdad Bill, you never seen him caught up in no scandal, like fucking around on your mom or no shit like that.
No, it was like a rumor, but then like everything came. Ain't no fucking way you there.
Yeah.
How the fuck you over here? We over here this day. You know what I'm saying? You know how motherfuckers get jealous. Because I remember when my mom was telling me the story when they got married, the women saying, because you know, he's like, my wife ain't gonna work. I don't want you to work. I want you to stay with the kids. There's he ain't want to do nothing but to control
and that's
you.
his stepwife too. So you know they extra jealous because she already had kids and got a man that then retired her.
They said, he ain't want to do nothing but control you and da, right? But then at the same time, he's like, well, where they fucking husbands at?
So my thing is, me growing up, my granddaddy was married. I don't think he knew I knew what was going on, but he used to ride me around with him when he used to be fucking around. I kind of understood what was going on. He won't hide it, but I don't think he really think I got it. But and then my mama always had a different boyfriend. If my mama had a new boyfriend, for some reason, the nigga always moved in with us. And I always would wonder, what type of motherfucker can move in with a woman that got 4, 5 kids already?
A low life.
Yeah, exactly. And then not only do he move in, they be fucking and we can hear him. And as kids, you don't realize that's your mama fucking. You know you're hearing sex. You know you're hearing this stuff. So you listening at the wall.
Yeah.
So promiscuity and fucking was something that was normal and almost made cool. Like, I'm pretty sure you might have heard your mom and daddy fucking, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know, it wouldn't.
Not like that, where it's like, oh, she fucking a different nigga now. He putting that dick to her for real tonight, goddamn.
Because they ain't have time Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Because he working all fucking day long. On the weekends, we going to my aunt's house or somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
We getting the fuck out the house. It's date night. We know what date night is. Like, you know, you realize what date night was or whatever, right? It's time for him to get some loving or whatever. So I didn't see it. Even staying with my dad. My dad was single.
Yeah. And single men don't bring bitches around their kids. Do you bring bitches around your son?
Hell no.
I was about to say that. And that's something I was going to say, a part of manhood.
His mama don't even bring men around him.
Yeah, men will protect, single men will protect their children from thinking that they're a hoe.
Yeah.
My homeboy grew up with just his daddy, and we used to always be like, man, your daddy don't never have no bitches. And one day his daddy kind of heard it. He was like, boy, I got bitches. Just ain't goddamn, y'all ain't got nothing to do with what I do.
Yeah.
So I know for a fact, I got this concept. I called it fucking with a chip on my shoulder. For whatever reason, whatever I learned, for whatever mom not saying I love you, or my family is not an affectionate, I love you, touchy-feely family. For whatever reason. And I just like fucking the shit out of a bitch, having her at my mercy made me feel like something. Yeah. And I don't mean gorilla fucking a bitch where I'm trying to hurt her. If I'm
frustration.
Not the frustration, almost trying to like bewitch somebody. Like, say, for example, it's one thing to fuck a girl. Okay, you're gonna eat the bitch pussy. But I'm done studied eating pussy and so many, like trying to become a connoisseur and shit. Like, you know what I mean? You trying to blow a bitch mind. Or did you do that?
I just think that's just the natural way I fuck.
Okay, so you trying to blow a bitch
No,
mind?
no. What I'm saying is
for your own way.
What I'm saying is like,
why can't you just be like a dog, get you a quick nut and be done?
Well,
why you want to bewitch them hoe?
What I'm saying is I enjoy sex.
Yeah.
So I never want to come.
I want to come, but I'm gonna make sure I fuck in every position. I just like
the feeling of it. I just like the way it feels. So I'm never, and it's not about me. For me, when I'm having sex, it's not about me, but it's about her pleasure.
Exactly. So that's my point. Yeah. We know in the animal kingdom, sex is to procreate.
Yeah.
The motherfucking monkey, a dog, or whatever, horse, they hum up, goddamn, that shit was good. Now we know if a woman got some good pussy, we can get in that pussy and be like, ooh, this one of them good pussies. I know I'm finna come quick. Let me stop. Let me slow it down. Let me switch up. Why are we trying to fuck this woman? Are we gonna say, you're saying, I'm just naturally trying to please her?
No, what I'm saying is this, right? See, you know how you just use the term, we getting some good pussy?
Yeah.
I don't think there's a such thing as bad pussy.
It's not.
I just think that there are bad fucks.
Based on the connection.
So then, like you said about procreation, sex is for procreation, but this day and age, procreation is expensive.
Ain't nobody trying to procreate.
Ain't nobody trying to procreate like it was back then.
The connection that I'm trying to make, and I think we're saying the same thing.
We are.
But I'm saying it as far as I am deliberately trying to make a bitch fall in love with me with sex. For what?
Yeah.
I'm realizing I was fucking with a chip on my shoulder.
Yeah.
It's like fucking, if I can get a girl to call me back and sweat me and be in love with me and make me feel better, but at the same time it's irritating. God damn, she done hit me with the hello, handsome, good morning, handsome shit. And now you got 4-5 bitches you hitting you with this shit. And then it's like, you got to keep them all in rotation. So you got to fuck them ever so often so they won't never stop fucking with you. So now you getting so much from so many different ways. Every time you go see one, it's like, so you been with your other bitch, ain't you? Yeah, I was with my other bitch. I'm always with other bitches when I'm not with you. Why don't you just enjoy your time? Now I'm frustrated. I want to leave.
That's because you fuck with them. And you know what's so crazy is the women I deal with, they're like, I want the details on last. You know what I'm saying? Like we have conversations about.
You was finding more bitches you were compatible with at an earlier age.
Yeah.
So that bitch like, how did you fuck Keisha last night? You like, I had the bitch.
She get turned on by it.
Yeah, that's some freaky shit.
Yeah, she get turned on by it.
Certain niggas at a certain age, you realize that women like shit like that. I'm talking about early on in my life.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm comparing. What I'm doing is I'm doing compare and contrast.
Yeah.
So I'm comparing your experiences, just like I be going through a lot of guys and they're saying that women did this, women did that. I'm like, and in my mind, because I've never experienced, I'm like, how?
Yeah.
I'm like, don't you understand A, B, and C, like being honest, right?
Okay, let's talk about that. Because like I said, as I'm talking to you on the live, I realized things where you had an advantage in growing up in function and me in dysfunction. So say, for example, all right, I'll give you a perfect example. At an early age, I could get a girl to do a threesome with another girl.
Yeah.
But growing up in the house with a single mother, when they started nagging me and worrying me, it touched my heart because I done seen women cry over men. So it's like, Jay, can you come see me? And I'm like, I got to go to practice. I don't want to come see you. But it's like, you're just using me and you fuck the shit out of me and you're just using me. And it would pull on my heartstrings and I would let them kind of pull me with their emotions.
Yeah.
Whereas you growing up with a father, you could say early, shit, I was with Keisha last night. Shit, you want to know what happened? God damn it. And create a different environment. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let me break down to me. Did you see your father? How did you? Because all of my friends, for lack of a better word, and I don't want women to take this the wrong way because I had to teach it to my sons with this. It's called gorilla pimping. And gorilla pimping is not being mean. It's just being honest and upfront with a woman. Like, I don't give a fuck how you try to make me feel with this. You knew what you were getting into. I am not married. How did you be at an early age? Because we done had conversations about this. Does that have something to do with a father? Like seeing your mom try to manipulate your father and that shit don't work? Or
I never seen,
because you ain't never had no soft heart for no woman.
Yeah, because I've never seen my mom try to manipulate my dad. It was either yes or fucking no. You know, I never went through that whole series of that. So that was not part. My mom used to always say, don't tell a woman to lie, you know, saying something that you ain't really gonna do.
Yeah.
So don't be like, oh, I love you. And the next day you do some old bullshit.
Yeah.
She was like, you know, that word means a lot to women.
So let me ask you this. So like you said, if it was just yes or no with your mom, do you go into situations at an early age expecting that? My way or the highway?
Yeah.
So me, I have always been more lenient to their emotions and feelings because I done seen my aunts and them cry over me and da 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 da. But I'm like, okay, so if you're gonna manipulate me with your feelings, I'm gonna fuck your brains out so that you can like me more.
I don't even want to fuck you if you're gonna try to manipulate me.
Exactly. That's what we were saying about picking and choosing women.
Yeah, if you try to manipulate me, like I have a woman, she'll text me or whatever, we be talking, and she be like, oh yeah, my lights getting turned off next week. Fuck you want me to do about it? Fuck you ain't pay your bills for. You was in Vegas.
So you rather the bitch say, hey, look, can I have some help?
Yeah, just ask for the help. Don't be trying to throw. I don't do that.
No hidden shit. Yeah.
I don't like that shit.
And see, growing up with a single mother, we more apt to what you think, Jamal, just out loud. We more have a softer heart for the emotions of feelings of them because you grew up with a single mother. What you think about that?
To a certain extent, because I grew up with a lot of women in my family,
and you learned their game.
I've seen a lot
of
their emotions as a front to get shit or get things out of guys and manipulate situations.
Right.
So I learned to not do that shit because
it's a mic over there I can hook up for you if I have to ask you a question in the future. Ain't no room for you to get on the camera. But that little mic over there that's hooked up, you see that little red small box right there? It's a mic hooked up over there. You can give me that cord out the back and I can hook you up. But yeah, it's so it's say for example, a woman's tears. My grandma used to tell me when I was a little boy, a woman only cry her real tears in goddamn the back room.
Yeah.
So and knowing that when a woman could cry and tell me, you fucking the shit out of me, and you know I'm gonna fall in love, and you don't want to come see me, and I ain't seen you in a month. That shit used to bother me, almost make me cry. And I get in the car and go over there because I didn't see my aunties and mommies and
it's crazy.
Cry behind women.
Because see, a light bulb goes off, right? So I'm sitting here in my mind, I'm trying to think, when did I ever see my mom, my aunts? You know, what I'm trying to think. When have I seen my mom, my aunts, and the women in my family cry? And you know what's so crazy? Is the only time I can recall my mom crying was when her mother died and when her sisters died.
So they ain't playing with me. So what are mothers and aunties in your family married though?
Yeah. So
that's what I'm trying to say as I sit here and talk live on camera. I realize, say for example, I'm talking to this bitch. I know this bitch I talk to, and she's very cool, and she's like a real cool chick. And when I it's so much ladylike shit I like about her, and she like, well, all my moms and aunts and everybody around me married, all my uncles married, everybody. She's like, so I'm just kind of not used to certain things. I'm used, and it's like you said, you're not used to women crying unless it's a funeral. Right?
Yeah.
Say something, Jamal.
Yo.
Say something again.
Yo.
Okay, I got you in.
Right.
So you're not used to women crying unless it's a funeral. And I'm used to women crying, trying to trick me to see them.
Yeah, but I grew up. All right, let me ask you this. Who all was married in your family growing up, other than your grandparents?
That's it. No marriages.
Jamal,
my uncle was married, but Jamal, he got divorced.
Jamal, how many people were married in your family besides your grandparents?
Shit, my grandparents were
besides your
while,
grandparents,
and then like maybe like one or two of my aunts, they got married, but that was before I even was born.
Yeah,
so I don't even know. So I don't even know about it. I just see pictures and know of it.
So check this out.
Right.
You married, Javon.
Yeah.
You ain't.
So
I know more about marriage than y'all.
Yeah, because you done seen so much.
Because I grew up around it.
Yeah. Right.
I grew up around that shit, right?
Right.
And it's crazy. It's crazy because you didn't grow up around this, like you were really like, this is why I say men nowadays, the majority of men are delusional because they were raised by
single mothers with a pipe dream.
With a pipe dream. Right. They're just as delusional.
They want the bitch to cook, clean, do everything, and don't realize, like when you come to my house, who and you eat here, whose food you ever ate?
Yep. Yeah. I don't think I've ever eaten anything Chris made.
Right.
So these niggas is saying that it's a delusion to it. I want my bitch to do all the cooking.
Yeah,
well, blah, 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 blah,
I've never said that. I've never been a person like that. Shoot, you see me. I put my stuff up on. I be on Facebook almost like I be shoot. I be cooking. All the time for my damn self.
When I growing up, when we would go to people's houses, if it was something that they were cooking inside, the women would cook. Right. Now, if you on that grill, don't nobody touch the grill but a man.
Right.
A woman ain't touching no grill.
No.
They'll make all the sides and stuff like that, but she ain't putting her hands on the grill.
Right.
So look, let me ask Jamal something since we got him in here, since he in here. Yeah, single mother household, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever see fucking and getting women as a badge of manhood or something that made you cooler, or did you chase women? Like, what's up with that? What you thoughts on that?
I'm gonna say this in a sense, I would say yeah, but a lot of it was I just like women because there was a lot of women in my family, so that's all I was around. So and then I learned about, like how you said, I learned about sex early as well because I had an encounter when I was young and shit with an older chick. Yeah. So whenever you know what I'm saying, when shit like that happen and that shit right there blow your damn mind, so you like, damn, I kind of got them. I want that. And so like it's other people around, maybe other guys that maybe your age but young, or girls your age is young that don't even know about what you know and what you seeking and what your mind is on at that time.
I think we all had that encounter because I lost my virginity when I was 14.
When you say the encounter, you mean the thing that made you like want to fuck a lot.
Yeah,
that's what you mean, because it's different than said make the sex.
No, what I'm saying is I think
that's what made me a savage.
So like
what's your shirt say? Savage mind. Said that's the day I knew I had a savage mind.
So like 14, I'm gonna tell you, because I used to grow up and I'd be like, man, why don't the girls like me or whatever? Because I'm in the hood too.
Yeah.
I'm in the low income area of town. But I'm like, why don't the girls like me? Now I'm older, I understood because I didn't have that same energy like you and Jamal would have had.
The hungry energy.
Yeah, that hungry energy. I'm kind of like laid back, like you gonna fuck with me, or you ain't gonna fuck with me, whatever it was, right? But I was always like, wow,
we in them bitches' faces.
But 14, 15, I lose my virginity. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I'm still kind of like, but the difference between me and my friends. Let me
say this. I ain't mean to cut you off, but think about this. When I say having an epiphany, you said you lost your virginity at 14, 15.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers that grow up in the house with single parents lose their virginity so much earlier because we be unsupervised. Right. Mama been and left you over her friend's house. The babysitter been and fucked you. They go clubbing together. For you to say 14 or 15 back in the day, before I started having these real man conversations, when a nigga said, I lost my virginity at 15, we'd be like, man, what the fuck? You late. But no, you was in a safe, structured environment where mama won't dropping you off anywhere where you could get fucked.
When you got your first piece of pussy, where were you at?
Over my mama's friend's house, and mama then dropped me off over there because her and the lady going to the club, her friend, but we being babysitted by somebody that her friend trusts around her kids. My mama shouldn't have necessarily trusted the bitch around my kids, her kids. Just because she ain't fucking touching that woman kids don't mean she ain't gonna goddamn touch us.
So you fucked the babysitter.
Yeah, but no, I didn't fuck her. I ate her pussy and she made me eat her pussy, and shit, you know how you lick skin on chicken? Yeah. Man, that shit had me gagging.
Now,
I was a little kid. I only ate fried chicken.
The wizard sleeve.
What about you, Jamal?
Shit. The first time I want to say I fucked a bitch, it had to be at the crib, but that's because I was being stupid as hell. And this was at the time when my mom was married too. At this time, right?
How old was you?
Shit, I was like 14.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's right around the
How
same.
old was the girl?
Like you said, your mama was married.
My mama was married then, right? But I was being a dumbass because I'm thinking I know they schedule because I know they both go to work. My mom working for Duke, her husband and shit. He was an exterminator and shit like that, and he did landscaping and all that shit. So I knew they weren't gonna come back. And so shit, I got a jump from the damn project.
Timeline. Let's be honest. Timeline. Put up your age you first had sex at. Put up your age and put up whether you was in a single parent household or 2-parent household. That's if you don't mind. I want you to say age 12.
How old was the
single
girl?
Parent.
How old was she? Was she older than you?
So I'm like,
no, she was like
6 or 7,
like
single parent,
or a year younger. We both had just went to like high school, coming into high school.
Yeah, my first time I was at the girl's house. Her parents were gone, and I was at her house. And her dad came home early, so she hid me in the closet and threw stuffed toys over top of me and shit. So I was stuck in the closet for about 4 hours.
Man, that shit happened to me too. But
this happened to me.
So look, this is what's ironic is the same jump, the first jump that I hit, she was from the damn projects and shit. I had damn hit her, and her friend goddamn started getting interested in me and shit and wanted to goddamn give me some, and I fucked around. That's what happened to me up at her damn house. I got caught up in that bitch, had to get up in the damn closet. Boy, her mama goddamn still found my ass. Boy,
hey, you know what made me want to have sex?
What's that?
Y'all remember Boys in the Hood?
Not when he went to
not with them draws that Neil Long had on.
Hey, yo, I started using that.
Man.
I started using that. You want to learn how to dry a stick?
Man. That jaw. Okay. I'm about to say.
Not Neil Long. Not Neil Long.
Scene, man.
When she was at the mama house.
Oh yeah.
I thought you went in there swinging.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah,
bro.
when he was like,
that's why I was like,
dry a stick or whatever.
Yeah, that's when he lied about fucking the other girl.
Lied about the bitch.
So look, I want to keep us focused on the subject and not tangent because we acting silly, but we telling the truth. I wonder, is there a correlation between one single parent and lower age and 2-parent and a higher age?
I don't think the age is the thing. I think it's the responsibility that came with it.
Okay, now break that down because that right there was totally out of the left for me.
I was 29. I was 29 when I had my first kid.
Yeah.
How old were you when you had your first kid or whatnot? Like all of my sisters and my brothers, they were graduated from high school.
So you're saying you think 2-parent household make you produce babies later on in life?
Yeah, I think
because I was 41, but I might be the anomaly. I was 43 when I had my first child.
You and my homeboy Brandon still ain't had kids yet, right?
And you know, it's a single parent household.
See, Brandon,
just like me too. Shit.
Brandon is
single
more
parent household.
Right. You know,
I think we have kids later.
I'll be 38.
Yeah, Brandon was a lot like he's real cautious on having kids
because we the motherfuckers that got touched and shit early. We know what the fuck happened.
I'm gonna tell you, for me,
I think with the women it's a lot different. I think the women tend to have kids earlier
from the single parent household.
Yeah. And they have them later from a 2-parent household. And possibly, I don't know. So Hot was 20 when he had his first kid. I was 29. She was 41. You ain't got one yet. My homeboy Brandon ain't got one. IB ain't got one either.
So let's talk about this.
I know a lot of guys that don't have one. That's my age.
Let's talk about this. Something. Okay, I want to talk about substance abuse, manhood, and substance abuse. And when I'm talking about substance abuse, I'm talking about reefer, alcohol, all substance, vapes, anything that don't supposed to go in our body. Yeah. Literally, I'm sitting here smoking reefer and drinking a beer right now.
I'm Lando Calrissian all the damn time in Cloud City.
Exactly. So, is there some type of correlation in manhood and substance abuse? And let me tell you what I experienced growing up, and y'all rap on that because, like I said, we wanted to talk about over sexualizing ourselves, substance abuse. Well, I'm hot now. I can't even remember all the fucking topics. I can remember going forward, but I can't. I can't remember going backwards.
I think because the first time I ever smoked some reefer was with women.
Okay.
Girl was like, you don't smoke no reefer? Shit, you lame. You don't smoke no reefer.
You got peer pressure into smoking some reefer.
You know what I'm saying? She like, it make my pussy wet.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm like, oh shit, well, let me try some of this reefer and see how much you.
So let me try some of this reefer, then lick it for you.
I think a lot of dudes get introduced to drugs and addiction through women. Or
it's like drugs and sex go together.
Yeah, it's like drugs and sex go together.
Sex, and alcohol.
It goes together. Now, those things go together.
Go ahead, Jamal.
I'm about to say shit. To me, I'm gonna say like this: the introduction to the weed, because my aunt used to smoke it. Yeah, like a motherfucker. So I didn't know what, you know what I'm saying, exactly what it was. I just knew that when I go by her door, it was a certain smell. So I'm like, oh shit, hot damn, I don't know what that is, but I like it. And so when I grew up and realized what it was, I was like, okay. But I first started smoking with my aunt's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a young nigga too.
And I understand what y'all saying, because I started smoking before I was fucking hanging out with bitches like that, and got exposed to drinking through my family. Mm-hmm. Like, I grew up in a family where motherfuckers be like, boy, take me a whole goddamn fifth before I even start staggering. You can't drink with me, little nigga. Somebody throw up, you know what I'm saying? Right. They laugh at them or something. So in my family, substance abuse, drinking, smoking, overeating too. Fuck it. I'm gonna throw that on the list. But although it ain't substance abuse, matter of fact, we'll talk about that another day. But substance abuse, even when I got to college, it was like, man, y'all niggas can't out smoke me. It was like all the guys I met. I used to be like, even now, I'd be like, man, I smoke joints, man. Y'all niggas smoking these blunts, that's too much reefer. Yeah. Back in the day, it would be like, guys would be, whenever I would be like, I'm high, niggas would be like, man, you done passed out already. You didn't quit smoking. I just always felt the peer pressure for substance, drinking and alcohol. Yeah. And I do what I do, but peer pressure is a part of stuff. I ain't gonna sit here in front like the first time I snorted cane in college. I don't know I'm going in the bathroom to snort. They keep saying the white bitch. We had a frat party at Carolina. This white bitch, they tagged that white bitch in the bathroom. And I'm like, shit, what? I'm asking questions. I'm thinking they fucking. It's a big ass fucking house. And they like, you want to hit that white bitch, big man? Oh shit, come on in the bathroom. I go in there, it's a line of motherfucking bitches in there and just cane everywhere. And they like, big man, hit that white bitch. And I was like, damn, I'm thinking I'm coming in here to get some pussy.
See, I grew up.
But let me finish the peer pressure. I hit some cocaine that night. And then after I hit the shit, and I went out and the bathroom, by the time I got in the hall, they said, God damn, I done hit some cocaine. I hope I don't die. So I was like, go back in and get some more. And I was back in that bitch all night. Like
I was afraid. You know what? I was afraid.
Go back.
By the time I thought I was gonna die, someone was like, nigga, you ain't gonna die. Go get right.
See, and I was afraid of cocaine. I was afraid of cocaine and shit like that, because I grew up around drug addicts and around drug dealers, and dealing with that shit or whatever. Like, when I realized where crack came from, like
cocaine.
I wouldn't fuck. Same shit with me. I wouldn't fucking with it. So no amount of peer pressure, because I knew the effects of it. No amount of peer pressure could get me to do it. Now, what did happen was, Papa Smurfs. You know what I'm talking about? Superman's. The
Molly's, yeah.
The Molly's,
that's what we call Molly's, Superman.
Yeah, the Molly's and stuff. Because I see the dudes doing the coke and all that. I'm not fucking with that shit. But the Molly's, I didn't know what it was. I just knew, ecstasy. Ecstasy and shit. They gave me a half and said, nah,
ecstasy and Molly a little bit different. Molly is pure.
No, I'm just saying though.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's around the same time. So it was both of them doing both. Yeah. But, it was like, oh, nah, it's just the pill ain't, it ain't addictive or whatever, right? But that shit made you feel good than the motherfucker.
Hey, man, that Molly made me about blow my dick off one night.
I don't know about all that.
I was fucking the hell out of it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm glad you're talking about that.
Hey, look.
I was fucking the hell out of it.
My mindset here And that's why I realized why New York niggas said pause. I always be like, why the fuck niggas say that stupid shit? Ain't nobody think that nigga said blow his own dick off. I said, what, he got high about to shoot his dick? Then I said, did he Ron Jeremy suck his own dick?
No, not Marilyn Monroe. Not
that shit fucked me up, man.
No, goddamn boy.
Niggas real about to suck his own meat, boy.
He was weird.
Look, hey, Jamal, you know we got him. I'm glad I ain't got this motherfucker on camera with that shit.
Boy, you see my face when he said that shit. I'm like,
how the fuck you blow your own dick off?
Because goddamn, boy, this junk gave shit. A chick gave this shit to me. That's my only time I ever did it. I ain't never done that shit ever except for one time. And this motherfucker gave me that shit. She was like, yo, I like it because I knew she liked to do shit like that. And goddamn, I kind of fuck with her and shit like that. And she was like, yo, dude, I was like, man, fuck it. Let me go ahead. Yeah. And I told that goddamn shit, boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I ain't about to take a shot.
But let's talk about weed and alcohol now, because I remember somebody said something to me when we talk about manhood. My homeboy, he said, boy, any nigga that get up and smoke reefer every day got to be depressed. Boy, that shit say king. That shit hit me like,
I agree with that. I can agree with that.
And then I was like, you know what? I can agree with that, bro. I said I can agree with that. And when I said I can agree with it, it didn't make me want to get undepressed and stop smoking. It just made sense to me.
You want to get more depressed?
It was just like, damn.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? But I look at the way words look. The first depression we had in America is Great Depression. Okay, you lost your slaves. You're gonna be sad, motherfucker. You got free labor. You're gonna be sad. So let me ask you something. When we go out of town or something, I didn't see you smoke or drink, but since you on your exercise, I ain't seen you drink or smoke. Do you?
I still smoke, I still drink, but I just do it in moderation.
In moderation.
I don't do it, you know what I'm saying? Like you know what, man? I realized something just like you just said. It's ironic you said that. I told my homeboy, I said, man, you know what's so crazy? I said, you know, people smoke to escape their issues and their problems, right?
Yeah.
I said, but you ever thought what happened to a motherfucker that ain't got no issues or problems to run away from? I said, man, I be thinking about shit I shouldn't be thinking about. I be thinking about shit that don't even exist, like fucking aliens and shit. You know what I mean?
So are you saying you want your problems back?
It's a trade-off.
Nigga say, yo, man, without my problems, I be thinking about crazy
I
shit.
be like,
I might
man,
turn
I'm tired
into Jeffrey Dahmer.
No, I just be like, I'm tired. I be like, I'm tired of fucking. I'm tired of fucking humans. I be like, I'm tired of fucking human women. What's some alien bitches gonna come down?
Well, that shit is funny to me. But you know what? I got a homeboy that works out like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's great. He like, man, when I ain't working out, when I'm working out on my workout kit, he don't smoke or drink or nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's so good. But he go through phases of fit to fat to fit to fat.
He fitty fatty.
he fiddle faddle a lot. He do a lot of fiddle faddle.
Those in my head too.
Not the crunchy bunch and fiddle faddles. Can I get a blue box of fiddle faddle? Look, we ain't gonna do what we did last year.
Nah, keep going.
I'm not gonna get into that. Listen, but it's like crazy because he go from fit to fat, and sometimes he be like, "Yo, man, I wish I had that happy medium balance like you." I said, "Hey, my man said I'm depressed smoking. It made sense to me, but it just didn't make me say, "Oh, I want to stop smoking."
Hell to the dog.
Honestly, I think that going to the gym and working out causes you to do less of that shit.
Yeah.
Because you have that time to yourself. Like
you getting them real endorphins released.
Men, I swear to God, I swear by this. I put this on everything I love.
This would be some Andrew Tate shit.
Go to the gym, start working out.
I knew
after 3 months, tell me how your sex drive is.
Right.
Tell me how your libido is.
Yeah.
I be hearing like 40-some-year-old dudes talking about, nah, man, I can't.
Want nut.
It's them niggas that ain't doing shit.
They tired. 20-some-year-old dudes taking them pills.
Oh boy, they taking that corner store honey, goddamn. Them niggas.
Get off that shit.
They don't know if that's honey or not.
And just go to the fucking gym. And
can I work a joke for my comedy show in there?
Do it.
So say, for example, me and Chris was at the trail today and we was just talking about that shit. We was saying, we was laughing kind of like, nigga, you older, but you still fucking like you kind of used to it. I was like, that's because when I get tired, I stop fucking and let my dick go down. You know what I'm saying? I get tired. It's like, think about this. Your body has a certain amount of blood and oxygen to function.
Yeah.
So when you fucking, some of the blood is in your dick, right? So your heart is saying, hey, dick, I need you to stop feeling so good down there. I'm beating a little too fast. So your lungs might regulate and say, yeah, send more oxygen to his heart because his dick is. And then all of a sudden the brain will say, all right, dick, we about to have to shut it down. You're so goddamn tired, you're going to pass out. That dick will shut it down. The dick will say, oh, man, I wish I could have kept going. But that dick will get soft. And that's your pride. You got to live with it. But these niggas taking that dick stove honey and all this extra
That's
shit.
why you having heart attacks.
Exactly. You get where I'm coming from. The goddamn heart said, all right, dick, we about to have to choke her down in a couple of minutes. Dick said, no, I got it in me. I ain't going down yet.
If you're going to do like that, you better drink a high pH balance of water.
Hey, boy.
And look, guess what your heart said to your dick? Hey, listen, you done took some shit tonight. Now I'm trying to tell you, if you bust this nut, I got enough in me for you to go another 2 minutes, but you can't bust. And the lungs said, I'm about to give out now, goddammit. Then that dick honey said, no, dick, keep going, dick.
Hey, you know what's so crazy?
You're going against all your will.
Oh,
I'm talking about, goddammit.
And when that dick don't go down, guess what happened? Oh, yeah, I'm finna come. Your heart said, I told you.
This shit got them ring
I
like a microwave.
Take that nut.
Hey, you know,
and then you Kevin Samuel.
Scientific
microwave.
Ding. Scientifically, funny enough, though, busting the nut is the closest that you get to death.
Yeah.
In life.
That's what they say. That's what Shakespeare
That's why I feel so
orgasm.
good.
Yeah.
That's why we do. That's why we be crumping like E40.
Hey, yo, I be telling
you know why? It's almost like you're dying to give life. Like, oh, it feels so good.
Hey, you know what's so crazy?
Hey, look, you're shooting the life. I'm shooting the life out of me. I done shot from here to Chapel Hill.
Yo, it be so funny because I be telling like the chicks I be fucking with. I be telling them like, if y'all ever look at that motherfucker face when he coming, and they're like, I said, motherfucker,
don't ever do it, ladies.
Yeah, don't
do it, ladies. Don't. You're gonna have nightmares about that nigga. You ain't gonna fuck with that nigga no more if you look at that nigga face when he comes.
Like,
ladies.
Girl,
Don't do
when
that.
he came,
Don't listen to him.
I thought he was finna kill me. He turned to Jeffrey Dahmer.
I'm talking about, man.
Motherfucker, I thought he was having a stroke.
Never go full retard, man.
But yeah, it's like,
my
you know
man
what I'm
said
saying?
I used to pop X pills. God damn, he said the 3 or 4 things: X pills, Skittles, and don't want to be. Yeah, a lot of that shit. I'm gonna tell you something that as a man. And your manhood
scared the hell out of me.
And growing up with drugs, right? My grandma used to have to take pain pills. Women in my family, you know, the older people hurt. My granddaddy hip.
Them damn Percocets.
So when I used to hear Percocets and Oxycontin, that was like old folk pain medicine. So when I hear a man say he want a perk, I say, this nigga a junkie. He can't even find no regular cocaine or crack or nothing. So to me, I'm serious. I always looked at popping pills as that nigga was broken. He stole that shit off his grandma's dresser. You know what I'm saying?
Because what's like,
so I ain't never took a pill, bro.
Yeah, $10 a pill.
Man, I used to have a chick get a $10 hit of heroin or crack.
I took I had went through a phase. This shit was like back in like I swear to God, shit. About 2010, goddamn, partying it up. Goddamn, Grey Goose,
Perky Durky,
Grey Goose, a bunch of weed, and we goddamn popping perks and fucking with bitches, man. Like we used to me and my brother and my damn homeboy, we had a crib. All together, big ass, nice crib in a nice neighborhood and shit. Yeah. Man. And them Jones used to just run mad Jones in and out of that. We used to party all damn day long, boy, doing nothing but bullshit.
Hey man, 20s, your 20s.
Yeah, that was in my 20s.
Though. Yeah, that's what I already know.
You kill yourself during your 20s. You should. That's why I'm like, Whitney, how the hell you drown in the bathtub in your 40s?
Yeah,
fuck is wrong with you, Whitney?
Look,
much as we tried to kill ourselves in our goddamn 20s, this motherfucker, the Gerald Levert, the Michael Jackson, Prince, all them motherfuckers and. Man, you supposed to be sitting back, goddamn, doing the best dope. Like, look, you supposed to hit that shit like, oh boy, I'm Sugar Hill.
The property manager at the place I was staying at in my 20s, she said, "What the fuck are y'all doing over there?" I said, "What you mean?" She said, "I see about 10 women running up and down them goddamn stairs all fucking day long. Do y'all ever work?" I was like, "Yeah, we work." When? She said, "Y'all fucking all day long." She said, "I don't see nothing but women in our 20s. Your 20s, boy, you trying to kill yourself."
I remember I went through a little phase of being a man, like you said, fucking with a chip on your shoulder. during the Grub's Kitchen phase, it was just too many women that was loving me for cooking food, and there was so many young girls and the college girls, and it was almost became like a legend. Like, if you get a plate from Grub, if you go in there, you can watch him cook your food, and he'll let you suck his dick. You know what I'm
This
saying?
nigga stupid.
it was. That's how I felt like it was.
Hey, boy.
I'm like, why is all these 24, 25-year-old girls coming in here just wanting to give me some head?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting back, and that's when I realized I won't go fuck with young girls.
Yeah.
This young girl, we was kicking it. She was about 25 to 26. She took 2 Percocets like them shits was candy. She was like, "You want a perk?" I said, "No, I'm good." She was like, oh well, I like that perky dick.
Whoa.
I said,
ma'am.
That bitch almost shamed me into taking a perk, because she was like, remember I told you how men is with sex. I almost took the perk just so I could say, oh,
so
you like that perky dick? Right. Yeah, but that bitch was damn near like, she was like, I don't fuck with niggas that don't take perks.
She said, I like my, she
That's
like my, she like I like my dick like I like my nipples.
Perky.
Wow.
I knew you was gonna say some shit, man. But I didn't know the joke. I just knew the said answer was perky.
Yeah, that's why I took that damn Molly. That's what I was saying. That's the only time and the only time I ever took that shit.
Percolator.
It was a crazy
tell
time,
I'm gonna take this perk now, and then I'm gonna give you the perky.
But
later.
You know what was so crazy was I was never the dude that you marry. I'm the fun guy.
The fun guy.
I'm the fun guy. I'm the guy you have fun with. And you
Let's talk about that. That was my last subject.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage. Because marriage and manhood has always gone synonymous. And as I get older and I talk to my brothers, I can understand how marriage isn't as beneficial for a man anymore, just simply based on the fact that back in the day, women didn't work and women needed men for more stuff. Yeah. So you got a more respectful.
And men needed women too.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because
if you expound on that, but let me finish my point. So I had this idea of like, but yeah, don't you want to go, and somebody wipe your ass, and you like, well, I got the VA bill and all that. So y'all speak on that as single men and marriage, as far as does that at some point, because, and Jamal, I'm gonna ask you about having kids too, because you don't have kids yet, but you have a kid, Jamal. So speak on that as marriage and that's connection to manhood or legacy. Is that something that y'all want to do or think is necessary, or if it happened, it happened? Look, watch this. Jamal go first. Both these niggas named Jamal.
Expound upon that, Jamal. Jamal. Hold on. Jamal.
Oh man, why you gotta do me like that?
You got the 2 A's.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when you call him Jamal, like Pal Mal cigarette.
Shit, look.
Speak on it, Jamal.
Expound on it.
Basically, shit about kids these days, or and about marriage too. About both.
Marriage first.
Marriage first. Okay. Well, marriage it's still open. I'm still open to that, but I ain't really focused purely on that jump, because it's like if it come, it come. If it don't, it don't. Because of the times we live in.
Except you meet a rich bitch, is on.
I mean,
I'm fucking with
you. He's like, yo, I went through sweet out the elevator.
If you are rich and never deal with me, please meet me by the nacho cart. Yeah, I'm that type of nigga. But now, in all seriousness, no jokes aside. I mean, all jokes aside and stuff. Like, really, I really want to do that, but it's the type of mindset that people have these days, where I'm more of a kind of traditional guy. But I'm not so too traditional, but at the same time, we got to have that respect and stuff. And certain things people don't have these days. They don't really care about respect. They really don't really care about long term being with you whenever things aren't so great. You know what I'm saying? And so when I notice that, and I look at everybody's relationships and look at a lot of people break up over stupid ass shit.
Yeah.
I look at people out here cheat in their relationships. They can't be real about their shit and be open. They marriages and shit. I see a lot of niggas cheat. I see a lot of women cheat. And sometimes that shit I be like, man, what the fuck I'm finna do this shit for?
And let me ask you something. Can I translate? It sounds like the nigga said the world is scared the shit out of me.
Hell yeah, I'm about to tell you that. I'm about to say that. Okay. No, it's even. That's what I was about to end without before you took it right out my mouth. I was about to say, but the world kind of scared me though, for real.
Okay,
and the same,
kids though.
Same thing with that. With kids, right? Like what Jamal said earlier, when he said his folks was telling him, you know what I'm saying, about the responsibilities of having a child whenever he was young.
Yeah.
My mom did me the same way. And I also noticed just looking around and stuff and knowing, things that I couldn't have and stuff like that at the time, or different times when people lacked in their homes. So I was like, shit, having a kid is real deal. I don't want to just jump out here and do that shit. And I seen people already start doing that shit whenever we was on like
that nigga saying scared again.
Nigga, I'm talking about, hey, look, do you think I'm bullshit?
We're gonna call him SA of San Antonio Spur. He's scared again.
Hey,
this
boy,
is the final
hey,
call for the train to jump off express.
Hey, boy,
hey, Skinny Jamal. I'm fucking with him. Speak on it
So,
real quick. And look, we're putting the link up for anybody that want to come in and speak on this subject before we get out of here.
Yeah, ain't no women coming up here. You know they ain't coming. They gotta get their camera ready face on. But for me, as far as like marriage, washers, dishwashers, washing machines and shit like that, dryers and fast food restaurant. It took the whole thing about the woman's household responsibility and need out of the home.
Yeah.
And so it used to be a man go to work. You ain't got time to wash your clothes because you had to wash them and hang them up on the clothesline. When I was growing up, you had to hang them on the clothesline. Now I just take all my clothes, throw them in the washing machine each day, and then at the end of the week I hit start. Then I throw them in the dryer and I fold them up. Yeah. So it's easier. As far as like food, I mean, hell, I can go out to eat. I can get Hello Fresh and all this other stuff. So I don't need anybody to cook for me. Cleaning, I'm hardly in my house, so it don't stay dirty because I ain't got a house full of kids. So the need for
sound like you said you just like fucking a lot of bitches.
At the end of the day,
I'm telling you.
I'm
giving y'all my translation of what I'm hearing.
You may be honest with you, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Women like fucking a lot of dudes. They just don't admit to it because they know that they're gonna be shamed about it.
Of course.
They'll be shamed about it. And
so we got a scared ass nigga and fucking a lot of bitch ass nigga over here. That's what we got here.
Whatever,
but listen, I'm serious. I understand that's really it's not totally necessary. And especially with people of our age, we getting to the point, we in the hip hop era. Think about it, we got Viagra now. You got Dick Honey. So it's people, we come on, man, don't do me like that. What I'm saying is we a hip hop nation, right?
Yeah.
We always gonna be young.
Yeah.
And as long as we young and got that young virus spirit,
right,
motherfuckers is gonna be dressing good, looking fly, and fucking.
I mean, right. you look at it. How old are you? You 45, right?
Yeah.
I'm 40. I turned 44 this year.
Yeah, how old are you, Jamal?
I'll be 38 this year. I'm 37 though.
Bro, okay. Look. I'm looking at dudes. The majority of dudes our age got gray hairs, like a shit ton, like in their head and their face and all that shit. Right? They look
muffin tops.
Goddamn right. But then, like, you look at us, you know what I'm saying? We got.
I'm gonna be able to tuck my shirt in. I'm not. But
my
wife's
saying,
not gonna allow that.
Look at your facial hair. Look at that. You got a little on your beard.
Y'all
got a little bit on our beard, but our hair is still growing black. We ain't using no products to try to look like Jalen Rose and shit. You know what I mean?
I think these come from them days I've been broke and had to goddamn get it out the mud. I think these few of gray I got come from goddamn worrying about taking care of family. I don't think it came from nothing else, and I ain't got a lot of them, but these few little right there.
When I see women now, I got, like I said, I got 20-something-year-old women, 30-something-year-old women hitting on me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're like, how old are you? And I'm like, 43. They're like, you're not 43. I get carded for my fucking age.
Oh yeah. You know what? Let me say this as a man, and y'all can speak on this. And we was talking about fucking with a chip on your shoulder, and fucking your problems away when you're younger, and just fucking for sport when you're younger. And we used to think it was easy then. And these women talking about they cougars and jaguars and all that shit.
Pumas.
Yeah, they don't understand that these young girls hate the guys their age. They think they all gay. Right. So when they see an older man our age that look halfway decent, they don't even think money no more.
And
these boys is on all these drugs. They can't stay hard. They got no confidence. The young women throw themselves at us. They be like, ooh, they love great. I be like,
yeah.
I seen this joint today at the grocery store. Look cute joint. She checking me out. And I'm just joking with her, but I'm really serious. I'm like, I ain't got but $30 to spend. So if I go over, goddamn, I'm gonna have to Boy, you stupid. What you say again? I got $30 if I go over. I'm gonna have to do what?
I eat some pussy. I got $19 for a lap dance, but I only got $1 for a cigarette.
Oh, boy, that shit funny. It's funny because as I'm telling her, she was like, "Oh, you good?" I was like, "No, I'm serious. I only have $30." She was like, "Oh, if you ain't got it all, I got you. You cute." And then she smiled, and when she opened her mouth, she had them goddamn rubber bands hooked on her races. I said, "Goddamn, you fresh and young." And it wasn't like it was a turn on. It was just, it made me laugh in my head. I'm like, she don't only just got braces, because I think when an older woman get braces, it's kind of cute, because it's like, oh, you finally getting your teeth fixed. You know, that shit look cute. But then it's like when you see a little young girl with bracelets, she done hollered at me. I'm like, this little young joint got bracelets. Then I saw the little rubber band. She like, her mouth didn't even own that all the way. I'm like, little girl, my dick could look real big fucking you from the back. You better get out of here. She was small and petite too. You know, your dick look real big when you get one of them from the back.
Now you know where that term eating like groceries came. It was like, I only got $30 if I go over. I got
eating like groceries. But now it was funny because back when I was younger, I'm like, you like, they call them Snicker size. What is it? Bite size.
Bite size. Fun size.
Yeah, fun size. And she was fun size small. So it's like, you know, when you bend that over, your dick looked like a Coke bottle between her ass.
I tell you what, I got a 5-footer.
Yeah, and so normally I would have been excited, but I was like, man, this little girl got a little rubber ass.
Shit, man, you gonna pop.
You don't get your little bumblebee looking ass out of here.
She about to scratch your shit up.
But what I'm saying is, the older you get, you stop feeling like fucking for sport. It's like almost like I was like, I smiled and I was like, oh, little lady. She was like, I ain't no little lady. And in my mind, in my heart, I literally said, girl, I'm gonna spare you of this trouble.
Hey,
I would spare you of this trouble. She's like, I'm 22. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, my son, your age. I'm really being a man now. Because I'm like, I ain't fucking for sport no more. I ain't trying to fuck to prove nothing no more. You know what I'm saying?
You know, here's a question, right? For you, Jamal, because this nigga married. When you meet a chick,
I be getting busy. I'm fucking with you.
I'm fucking with you. Look, is it just me? I know I'll meet a woman out or whatever, right? And we'll start having a conversation. It's real interesting. But it's like you see, if I fuck with her, because, you know, like the conversation tells you a lot about her.
Right.
You already see if I fuck with her, at the way that my lifestyle is set up, I could see the whole way this shit's going to play out. And I back the fuck off. I can see the whole relationship in like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Like that shit just plays.
No, yeah. You got like,
you don't be home, Jamal. You don't be home, Jamal.
Just like when you
so you can see
it's like damn, they have a foresight. Yeah, because if you know how your life is set up and you know what you already got going on, and then situations where you already got women that you deal with and things and stuff like that, you know that I ain't finna go take this all the way serious like that to that point.
I ain't finna drive no more than 10 minutes for no pussy.
I met this chick in the store, right? And I mean, like, we had an instant connection, like bam, right? And we got to talking or whatever, right? We, you know, just having a general conversation. And she's like, oh yeah, you know, I just got a relationship with my boyfriend. He was a real asshole. Like, he would cheat on me, he would do this. And I already thought in my head, like, I couldn't even fuck you because I'm not just gonna fuck you.
Right. Exactly.
And you're gonna get clingy.
Yeah. Right.
You know, because I said, how long was your relationship? She's like, oh, we was together for like a year and a half. I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. And I shut that shit down. Like, you know what I'm saying? And my homeboy like, man, you ain't getting a number. I was like, nah, dog, I saw that whole relationship go down the shitter.
But you know what? This is what I will say. And this is me being honest. As a married man, when I hear y'all say that shit, I totally understand, because I understand as a married man, your life is your life.
Yeah.
I got a schedule with my daughter. I got a schedule with my wife. I'm not even talking about fucking no bitches. I'm talking about for friends, homies, anything.
Yeah.
So if you know you work these hours and you into the gym real heavy now, y'all not gonna jeopardize that. You know you're not gonna do such and such things. So it's like, damn. I will always be like, man, is these niggas just like fucking bitches running through women? But it's like, y'all literally like, I'm living. and I'm not finna interrupt my life for no goddamn woman.
I'm fucking a lot of bitches.
Yeah,
I'm running through them. But I'm just not being attached to them like that on that
That's
level.
what I'm saying. You living your life and you just meeting women. You're a tall, handsome guy.
He in the gym. I'm in the gym. But you know what I realized? When guys are in the gym all the time, and a lot of these guys get in relationships, you don't see them at the gym.
They fall out.
Yeah,
they ain't at the gym no more.
When niggas get in love, boy, niggas get that pudgy stomach, my nigga.
Because now she want to go fucking look at sunflowers and sipping wine and draw and
cooking for the nigga, woman to
you
get
know what I'm
fat.
saying?
But she don't want to go to the gym.
And then she don't want to go to the gym. Like I told you,
Why you going to the gym? I'm finna make some oxtails.
I told chick one time, I was like, look, baby, I'm too ass for leaving your ass. You know?
But it's nobody rubber.
It's that thing about like men when they start to get in these relationships and they're fit and they're going in the gym. A lot of guys are going to the gym to get women. They're not really going for themselves. They're like, oh, I'm gonna look good for this woman. Yeah, you know, to get a woman. And then once they get her, they back off.
But another thing I understand too, having gone through my 30s and early 40s married, it's like my growth as a man happened with a woman. So there's been a certain level of assistance and help. So when a man is single, going from 30 to 45, working and then figuring out on his own, when he get to 40 and he finally got that shit right and in a groove, and like we ain't addicted to substances no more, we ain't addicted to fucking, and you in a groove, like I'm at the gym, I'm working, I'm saving my paper, I'm raising my kid, I'm living my life. It's like, yo, you are a distraction if you're not an ultimate peace bringer, peacemaker.
Right.
I can totally understand that when I hear y'all guys say that. And it's like, I'm not going to be, like you said, the girl in the grocery store. Baby, I'm not going to let you be a distraction for me for 3 weeks because I know how this shit going to go. You're going to hit me with the, you're always busy. And I get it. And then it's another, no matter what you say, every time a woman, fake guilt you, an angel loses his wings.
Oh fuck!
That shit hurt, right? When you done been as upfront and as honest with a woman as you can.
So every time a woman fake guilt you, a nigga loses his dick.
Yeah, it's like a angel's balls fall out. But think about this.
Yeah.
No matter how upfront and honest you are with a woman, when it doesn't go their way, they're gonna make it seem as if it's your fault.
Yeah,
no matter if y'all have a last dinner and you have the most honest conversation with her, and you can give her a parting gift. Let me put this in a joke. Listen, things not going right. We're at Roof Chris. We're gonna have a good night tonight. Things ain't going right. But what I am gonna do, I didn't waste your time. You had told me you wanted to start a little business. I got $100,000 check for you right here, just to start your business. I care about your life and everything. And look, after the night, this over. She gonna be like, okay, thank you for the money and everything. Oh my God, this is great. The next morning, you gonna wake up to a paragraph.
Hey man, I'm talking about.
I had to get it off my chest. Although you gave me the money, I'm gonna turn the check up. Crazy. No, I'm gonna keep it. But and it's like an angel loses wing. And don't you almost kind of shed a baby tear?
Yeah, man.
It may not come down, but it feels like a Denzel tear.
It's like
you ain't want to go through that again.
It's like, oh,
that shit happened a lot.
How you say it feel? Just a little question.
Hey, look, that shit just happened, goddamn. And that's what you said. You said that 3 weeks. I call that shit orientation.
You see what I'm playing right now?
Oh, another angel lost his wings.
You know what I'm playing right now, right? The world's smallest violin. Fuck that. Hey, but one of my homeboys, he equates time and effort and all that stuff to money.
Yeah.
So he'll meet a chick and she'll be like, you gotta take me here, you gotta take me there, you gotta take me there, whatever, right? So he'll look at all the restaurants she done said, the clothes she done said, buying or whatever, right?
You gotta pay for my babysitter.
So what he does is he calculates all that. He's like, all right, I'll tell you what. How about I give you $2,000 and you come over here and we fuck? How much is that? Is that good enough? And they're like, I'm not a prostitute. He was like, well, you throwing out prostitute numbers here with the Gucci, the 50, the Prada, the Roof Chris.
Damn right.
It's like you might not be a prostitute, but you expensive like a prostitute.
What, what a woman in her head, she like, I'm not a prostitute. I'm like the woman in the movie Pretty Woman.
God. See, that's the damn problem.
I'm a prostitute that a guy likes that he wants to spoil.
It'd be crazy because this is how come I don't talk to women who listens to 90s R&B.
Mary J. Blige and
She
them.
want the heart, the soul,
Mary
the
J.
time, the
Blige.
love,
Moke
and
and
the mountain.
Steph. She listen to
want
Moke and
the word.
Steph. She like Brownstone, 5 Miles, the Empty and shit. You know what I mean? Like
I said Moke and Steph. I hate this nigga.
Just she's mine. It may have had it once, but
come on,
Goddamn
like,
Moke and Steph.
and they be running around singing this stuff. And I'm like, are you not listening to?
Not listening to the lyrics at all.
And they wonder why I love Fantasia when I see you. That's my shit. But if
yeah,
you listen
every
to
man love that.
I listen to the after 2000s R&B because that's when, you know what I'm saying, like they start talking women that rap now. Like I wouldn't fuck Sexy Red. I'm not attracted to her, but I like her music. Pound Town, my bad, my pussy pink and my booty hole brown.
Oh Lord, not her.
Hey, listen. You know why I
like she's straight to the
point. You know why I
point.
like Sexy Red and
Break it down.
all that, because they are saying what the fuck they feel. And no matter how much, they ain't gonna let you shame them, just like men shouldn't let a woman shame them for wanting to do whatever it is they do.
Oh no, and listen, this is the cool thing about it. I always say they being honest about the shit that our generation would hide.
Yeah, the other women are they really want to do.
Yeah, the only thing about it is we got to be more responsible what we let our kids hear. That ain't their fault that they making booty hole brown music.
I think it's not about what we let our kids hear, because I grew up. So my mom didn't like me listening to Scarface and NWA and Jay-Z and all that stuff, right? But my parents sat down with me and they said, "Hey man, you know this stuff right here. If you go out and you can sell dope if you want to, but you gotta deal with the consequences. Don't be calling this number talking about you need bail out because your black ass gonna sit there." My parents ain't
you look like bail.
You look like bail, motherfucker. We ain't paying to get your black ass out. You gonna sit in that motherfucker and think about your choices in life. So, like, you know, I got in trouble in the military. When I got in trouble in the military, I couldn't call home and tell my parents that I had to take that shit like a man. When I got locked up for fucking resisting arrest and all that shit, I couldn't call my mom and say I got locked up for resisting arrest. Well, your ass looked like you resisted arrest because you gonna sit that bitch.
That's like your mom said you look like Jordans. My mom had a different way of doing it, and which I'm pretty sure all black moms do. Anything I say, she just flip it back on me with a chore. Mom wants some new sneakers. Sneaker your ass in there and vacuum that goddamn living room. Like, Mom, can we have some candy? Candy your ass in there and wash them goddamn dishes. It was like, that was what we was gonna get. So your mom said you look like this.
But that's why I fuck with a lot of women in their late 20s to their 30s, because they ain't listening to that bullshit. They ain't listening to motherfucking SWV and Invo.
Yeah, they upfront and they understand the contractual love.
Now the realest shit came in the 80s, and that motherfucker say ain't nothing going on but the rent. Like she was Billy said, like motherfuckers like, yo, what's up?
That's one of the first real songs.
What's going on? The motherfucking rent, nigga. If you can't pay the rent, you can't get in here.
And really, she was saying help is attached to pussy. Pussy has always been a woman's resource since the beginning of the time. Like, have a baby, buy a man, raise his kids, and you'll get taken care of. And then now that women can get jobs and all that shit, it's made dick the resource when pussy should be the resource. Well, women like, I got a job. I was like, no, baby, you still need to use that pussy as a resource.
The government did a goddamn hell of a job.
Stop not using that pussy as a, like what Pimp C said. He said, top notch, get the $40, not the lesser. He said, but he said that
get the more, not the lesser.
Yeah. The $40 bitch fucking up the game. She fucking the game up. So it's just a situation where I think, and I'm gonna be honest about law of attraction. Maybe it's me or whatever. Everybody I meet under 35 got a smell. I'm serious. I be like, bitch, did they teach y'all to wipe back to front or front to back?
Maybe it's where
I'm telling you, law of attraction. It's because it's in my mind. So it always, I'm thinking young girls don't know how to wash their ass. That's always been some my mom used to. Young girls don't know how to wash their ass, so it's in my mind. So every time I meet one,
my mama said
they be funny smelling. Because hip hop, the crack epidemic, and the culture couldn't exist without what the government did, because hip hop came from single parent mother households.
Let's have a discussion about that next week.
But then back to what you were saying though, right? where you meeting people at? Like, remember, I go to level 7, stir places like that, right?
Yeah.
I go.
It's all about where you meet
like you can't walk up in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
You can't meet a motherfucking bitch at the damn corner hood store, goddamn.
No. Like I was telling you, I maybe because I was catching them in the middle of the day. I would meet college girls in college, and I would just be like, "How's all these college girls educated, natural hair, all this pretty skin with these funny smelling pussies?" So I just felt like they.
My cousin asked my uncle one time. He said, "Hey, uncle, why little girls walk around with a goldfish in their back pocket?" My uncle said, "So they can smell like the big girls."
Hey man, that's just my law of attraction. You know, I ain't saying it's right or wrong, but I don't be meeting no bitches at the corner store. I'm scared of them bitches. One thing about my life is, and I think law of attraction, why I don't get stopped by the cops and none of that shit. And I think as you get grown, before we get out of here, I don't go to no stores in no hoods, nothing that look dangerous. And if I'm at a store that I think is a good store and the wrong car pull up and I hear and see some big rims, I'll pull off then.
You know what's so crazy?
I don't want to be around nothing niggerish.
I'll stop. Check this out. Check this out.
Speak on that before we get out of here. Do you avoid your people as you get older?
During the daytime, I'll stop at any hood gas station. Yeah. I don't give a fuck. But at nighttime, I don't go to the hood gas station. You know why? Yeah. Because white people shoot shit up during the daytime. Black people shoot shit up at night.
Yeah. Right.
So I switch.
That's good. What are you stupid? That is so funny.
Because it's true.
So when you go to the white spot of town, them crackers gonna shoot Briar Creek up about 2 in the evening.
Yeah. That shit to do.
Right now.
They got burned their cross at night, nigga. They ain't. Like goddamn, we got burned this
prime time work hours.
That shit funny as hell. Like niggas,
prime time work out.
Niggas ain't got up. Niggas door dashing at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, think about it. At
door dash, smoke me a blunt. I'm gonna shoot shit up about 9:30 though.
You from Warrington, right? Yeah. Y'all know in Henderson they got this store called Snackers.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to Snackers at 11 o'clock at night in Henderson,
somebody gonna get shot.
Who all there?
Niggas.
The car wash right beside it. And niggas still at the car wash. Ain't nobody washing their car at 11 o'clock.
Nah.
But if you go over there on the other side,
niggas be like, meet me up there. You know, everybody sell they dope at the car wash tonight.
Right. And if you go to the other side where the white store is, ain't nobody at that motherfucker at night. But the Indian in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
So
that's funny, boy.
That shit, bro.
That's some funny shit.
Like I don't go to certain grocery stores.
Yeah.
Certain grocery store, like you ain't gonna catch me in no motherfucking Wegmans,
Publix,
Whole Food.
It's a new one in Raleigh that I went in and I said this looked like some serial killer shit.
Yeah, you ain't gonna catch me. And then like the Harris Teeter, it's gotta be on the one near the black community or somewhere like that.
That got the good wick shit.
You know why ain't nobody coming to shoot up the food line and the Harris Teeter like that? Because they mama's working in there and they don't pay as much as Wegman and Whole Foods and all them others, and they disgruntled about big business. Like I hear all right, on this hip hop, right? White dude say, "Hey man, you heard this rapper?" And I was like, he told me, I said, "Nah, I ain't never heard of him." I said, "Is he white?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I bet you got a lot of political shit in his music." He was like, "Well, he talk about the left and the right a little bit." I said,
"Political shit."
I said, "Bro, I don't want to hear that shit in my motherfucking music." Nigga, I want to hear trap. I can't dance that shit in the motherfucking club. Trap. I said, that's why I said, y'all want to hear talking about some
gun sounds with their mouth and shit.
Right.
Get another song.
I ain't want to hear nothing about the motherfucking government.
You know, that's how I was when I was in college. I had all these friends when we went through this fake everybody conscious Jamaican groove, and we sitting around getting high, and everything is the government wants to take and down in Trenchtown, and the people. I couldn't stand fucking Jamaican music. I said, man, goddamn, this shit depressing. And the kids crawling down.
You know why I don't like
the lions waiting for the light.
You know why?
And this shit was depressing as hell to me, man.
Yeah.
But it was political. Yeah. But now they get more, jammy. So I fuck with it a little bit more.
Even then, though, you know why I don't want to hear no political goddamn music? Because I grew up listening about political shit, politics, about the government. My dad and them made sure that we understood the laws that govern this nation and how these motherfuckers do shit here. So I grew up listening. I don't want to hear that. That's how come like you was like, like smart. Like I listen to
I don't like smart rap.
I listen.
I don't listen to no goddamn smart rap.
I listen to like certain shit when I'm riding. Now when I'm riding and cruising.
No, I listen to everything to check, but for the part of just when I'm listening. First of all, if I'm listening to music, it's not rap. If I'm listening to rap, it's for a purpose.
Why should music be informative? This is the look. See,
I'm listening for a purpose.
Here. Put that on the screen. Why should music be informative?
It's informing regardless.
No,
because if that shit Sunny Red, white people are saying we did not know black folks was like that.
No,
it's informative, but I know what he means, like informational,
yeah,
like making you elevate.
Music have to have.
Yeah, I feel like it don't have to. I feel like it could be whatever the fuck it is you want to, whatever you feel like expressing.
When I'm out at the club, I don't want to hear no informative shit. I want to hear.
Yeah, I want to hear bitch.
I want to hear what you talking about. Shout
yeah, like look, like
what you say you want to hear?
I want to hear Nas.
What you talking about? Shout it. I want to hear all ski.
Who is that? I said that Lil Jon mixed with.
I want to hear all ski.
I don't want to hear Nas at the club unless some of his
or say for example, if you got a bitch at the house and you want to fuck.
Right.
You don't want
to hear Pound Town.
Or my pink pussy goddamn seems like you're ready. You know what I'm saying?
She must be young, man. She gotta be about 20.
Seems like you're ready. That thing got a little older on it.
I want Jarrell to comment on that because it's like, why do people feel that music has to teach a lesson?
It don't. To me, it don't.
Well, see, you got to think about it. Watch this. Now, let's talk about it. That's about a personal opinion.
It's from the era, too.
Before we get out of it. Think about this. Tupac's song, Brendan Got a Baby, right? That shit's got a lesson. It's a message, but it's not informative to us. That's the everyday goddamn black story.
Right.
But to the world, they got Tupac's lyrics in the university for that song because the world was like, whoa, it's really happening like that. So to me, that's just a regular old bitch getting pregnant, getting ass beat by a mom in the hood. That's regular to us.
Hey, you know what
so when we say informative, I think that's just, I get what he means. I get what you mean.
I get what you mean, but
I want to hear some dumb shit.
It's like
I like that dumb shit.
You know, this is kids like people our age. People our age, right? When they listen, they talk about Tupac. Oh man, Tupac, he was educating people, right? But then they'll say, "Oh well, racism wasn't that bad when we was growing up." And I'm like, "Oh, you listen to Tupac? He says, see, I see no changes. All I see is racist faces. Misplay hates make. You know what I'm saying? Like, a cop killing nigga is a hero. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, so you saying you listen to Tupac, but racism? Tupac was I was growing up at that fucking time.
Tupac had a lot of political shit in his. If you listen to his
and he had a lot of fuck shit.
He had a lot of fuck shit. The nigga was
shit. He had a mixture of it.
He was a fucking walking conundrum.
Right.
Because one time he'd say, keep your head up, but then he say, you wonder why he call you bitch.
I just think it boiled down to the perspective of the person. Because me personally, when I joke and I say I don't want to hear no smart rap, I got a master's degree, man. Ain't nothing fucking whoever the smart rapper of the day is can inform me. Now I can listen to it and be like, yo, that young brother hip. He on point. Mm-hmm. But for me to say that I want to listen to somebody 23, 24, 25, I don't want to hear nobody my motherfucking age. I don't want to hear that same cadence I grew up listening to. Like I listen to all Nas new shit to see about it. But that shit sounds just like every fucking thing I ever listened to. So I don't want to hear that shit. And Nas ain't never been smart to me. When I was in college, I was saying that shit was prison talk.
I said the same thing.
Everybody that I went to college with that loved Nas, as good as Nas can rap, that 5% shit, that's prison talk. It actually started from Clarence X and them niggas, and it's real prison talk to me. Exactly. So I ain't never thought the nigga was smart. Now, what I will say about Nas, I know he grew up in a 2-parent household with a daddy that's a musician, a mama that's a teacher, and I'm like, you're the epitome of a fuck up kid to me. So I don't understand how we look at Tupac and change Tupac up or anybody. Nas is the epitome of a kid that's a fuck up kid for no reason that we think smart because he dropped some shit that his mom and daddy. That's the exact opposite to me. But he's one of the best rappers ever to me.
Yeah, I mean, like,
but I don't want to hear that shit.
Lyricism and the way that he puts stories together.
Right.
His first 2 albums.
That's the thing that I say about Nas is being able to put the words together and certain things and stuff like that. Right. And then because I will say this, being so young at the time when he first dropped, because he was like 17.
Yeah.
And shit. he was so damn young, and when he to be dropping some of that shit, and a lot of guys we were used to were actually older than that, talking about shit like that. He was kind of impressive, I guess, and ahead of his time.
Right,
definitely,
like right.
But it was the same old shit. Timbuktu, the Stuns, Sun, Moon Star, all that 5% shit. To me, that's no different than Chris Brown, right? Chris Brown is an R&B singer. It's just like Tupac. Yeah. It's like I realized the older I get, all this shit was fake, man.
And then one thing I realized,
how Chris Brown's gonna be a R&B singer in a game?
Hey, hold on, pause, because you gotta remember this song's dedicated to my homies in that gang. You gotta remember something, right? Just because a motherfucker can sing, you gotta remember they grew up in drug and gang infested neighborhoods. And some of these
that's what they gonna sing about.
Some of these dudes were Bloods and Crips. But at the same time, it's kind of like this guy, like, this is how come I don't debate hip hop or talk about hip hop with guys our age, because white guys our age, because they listen to some hip hop because they hung around a lot of black kids in high school. But when they left and went to college, they stopped really listening to hip hop. They started listening more to other music like Alanis Morissette, Blink-182, and shit like that, right? So this white guy I was talking to, we the same age. He's like, yeah, man, you hear this song, and dude was talking about the government letting cigarettes be legalized, and you get marijuana's illegal. I said, you ever listen to Outkast? I said, yeah, I love Outkast. I said, remember, Andre 3000 said, marijuana illegal, but cigarettes cool. I might look like a dummy, but I ain't no fool. He's like, what song was that?
If you want to synthesize,
I was like, synthesizer. He's like, what album is it on? He's like, what album is it on? Now, it's some white guys out here that are truly hip hop.
I throw the lyrics of that on Facebook a lot, because a lot of that shit that they were talking about on the synthesizer shit, and that was in the 90s, the mid 90s. That a lot of that shit they were talking about is the shit that people do now when they go on the doctors and, you know, changing your goddamn nose, changing your goddamn your body and all the different shit, your eyes and your eye color, your eyebrows, all that shit you have. Yeah, they was ahead of their time.
I always look at it like this.
Go back to Jarrell's too first, because I'm gonna say something about that, because I get what you're saying. Jarrell, trap music isn't fucking up the black community. The black community was already fucked up
before music talking about
trap music came from the fucked up situations in the black community, because if we didn't have the trap, there was never no music.
Yeah, art imitate life. Life don't imitate art.
Can always feed
right. So the music that you hear, when you hear this music from the black community, it's a lot of stuff that we're dealing with in the community, and the outside looking in, they're saying this is messing up. No, we're telling you, if you listen to the music and you go back, the message.
I give you a perfect example of what's going to happen. As a master teacher, I'm gonna put my name on this.
What Mike said.
He's perfectly correct. Say, for example, our communities have always had poverty and fucked upness in it. Like we say, the record labels will pay and encourage us to talk about the fucked up shit more because it's popular. However, whatever's popular in our community, so say, for example, there's going to be a lot of popular ass gay rappers.
Yeah.
Why? Because black people so goddamn gay now. We used to be some anti-gay, homophobic motherfuckers. Black people used to be like, hey man, fuck that gay shit. Now we have accepted it. So it's an opportunity to say, well, y'all rap about more gay shit. Black people accepting that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, can't nobody make us do nothing. I always say, and I want to have a conversation about this. I want to know how you feel. I wish they wouldn't have never let niggas on TV, movies, or the radio.
I disagree with that.
No, I'm just telling you what I think about it. We're gonna have a conversation about that.
You grew up in the South, right?
Yeah.
You ever heard of the bad luck truck? So in the city, they call it the bad luck truck. Motherfuckers go to sleep, wake up, and it's a box of drugs and guns and shit in the neighborhood.
They drop it off in the hood.
They drop it off in the neighborhood.
I know what you mean.
Or whatever, right? So that's a cause and effect.
Yeah.
So the cause
and your parents has a lot to do with whether you're going to get some off that goddamn truck.
Yeah, because you know who it is. It's the single parent.
They always go back to parenting.
It's the single parent mothers who kids getting a hold of these
because
boxes.
your daddy ain't gonna got if you know what's gonna happen if your damn daddy catch you with that gun in the house.
But she's a single parent mother for two reasons: a man and a woman fucked.
Right, of course. Yeah. But here's the thing, right? The kid ain't asked to be here.
Exactly.
So now you see a kid. I had one of my friends. He told me, he said, "Man, I asked my mama can I have this or can I get that? My mama always said, we ain't got no money, I'm broke. He said, in my mind, my mama wasn't worth 2 pennies worth rubbed together. And that's what caused him to go out and sell drugs, because every time he wanted something or needed something, she couldn't get it. He wanted food, like, they have a certain amount of food because they get food stamps, and that's all they got.
Yeah.
So I got to find a way to get it. 12 or 13, where the fuck you going to get money at? Yeah, some kids that was working at the barbershop, sweeping up hair in the barber, or whatever. But you got the dope boys down here. They got all the money, got all the women. They say, hey, little man, run this bag over here for me.
Yeah.
When I was 10 years old.
Unsupervised kid.
Well, not just that. When I was 9, 10 years old, me and 2 of my friends, we used to walk to the bus stop because we got the city bus. So on the way, I was stopping my homeboy Jeremy house. His dad would put a bag in my backpack. We go to the next house to pick up my homeboy Tony. His dad take the bag out my backpack. We go to the store. On the way back from school, we go to the bus stop. When we leave school, we get on the bus, we get out the bus, come back, we stop at Tony's house first. His dad put a bag in my backpack. We get to Jeremy dad's house. His dad would take the bag out my backpack and give me $40.
And you ain't never fuck with it because your motherfucking daddy had taught you to mind your motherfucking business.
Exactly. I didn't know what they was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You ain't never fuck with it. You ain't know what was parenting.
So I'm making $40 a day. I'm making $40. That's more than most niggas.
You was a kid mule?
I was a mule.
Oh man, we need to put you in a documentary. That could have anything could have happened.
This is but remember I told you I didn't realize I got kidnapped. I didn't realize I ain't got kidnapped when I was 11.
Learned something about you on live. This nigga was a baby drug dealer.
I didn't know I got
this. Real life fresh.
I didn't know I got
real life fresh, my nigga.
Check this out. When what's the movie with Meech and him? Meech. BMF.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize that I got kidnapped when I was 11 until I watched BMF. Because the same shit, the little girl with the little girl and the ice cream, that was the same shit that happened to me.
Oh, I don't know.
When I was 11. No, I'm just saying that when I was 11, my uncle, he came to my dad's house. My dad used to always be like, open the door for your uncle. But I opened the door because it's my uncle.
Yeah.
He came in, took the TV. He was with some dude. The dude said, nah, little man coming with us. So we get in the car, we riding. I'm just with my uncle and 2 niggas.
Yeah.
We get to the house, and the dude's sitting there, and I notice he got a pistol with a little rubber tape around that bitch, a little revolver.
Mm-hmm.
Got the rubber tape around the handle and around the trigger.
The gray tape, the duct tape.
He said, yeah, man. He was like, what grade you in? He like, what grade you in? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm in 5th grade. He's like, yeah, little man, don't get out here and do this stuff, man, because, sometimes you got to do shit that you don't want to do or whatever. I didn't know that they called my granddad and said, hey, we got your nephew here. If you don't give us the money, we're going to kill your nephew and your son.
Yeah, there you go right there.
Now, I didn't know this shit till I got older. I didn't know none of this shit. I didn't even realize this shit traumatized. Some people are exposed and told at the time.
Yeah.
And some people don't know. So I didn't even know, what I'm saying, or whatever, right? But the same thing with being a drug mule. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Exactly, because you just knew you didn't bother adult shit.
I was now these days, a week.
These days, the first thing a kid gonna do is bust that shit open, look in it. What's this powder? Oh, 2 kids died transporting fentanyl 2 blocks around the corner. They just snorted the whole bag of this shit.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I want to caveat to, and I want us to really talk about this next week for real. Next week I want to talk about your 7th grade self.
We can't do next week.
Oh,
I got the wedding next week.
Okay, well, shit, I'll get Jamal in here.
Or maybe even Monday, but yeah, I can't do it Sunday.
Okay, well, we'll work that out.
Yeah.
So I really want to talk about something I call 7th grade self. My wife and her best friend was in here talking. They grew up in New York, and I always tell my wife, and I tell people, and this is not bragging, it's just me being honest. By your 7th grade, you kind of been stratified socially. What you gonna be? Are you a cool kid? Are you this? Are you gonna be a this or that or that? You kind of decided I might go to the military. I want to go to college. Okay, I'm not gonna be such a smart kid. Blah blah blah. So the point I'm making is, yeah, 7th grade, most definitely. The point I'm making is your 7th grade self. I think by the 7th grade, you're gonna be who you're gonna be by what you have absorbed through the world and life, regardless. So say for example, by the time I hit the 7th grade, I was smart enough and understood and had been around my granddaddy enough to know I could have 2 girlfriends and they can know about it. My 7th grade prom, you can't go back in history and make this shit up. What they call it, the fucking Mandela effect.
Yeah.
I had been saying this 7th grade self for so long, and I didn't realize that one day I called my aunt. I said, send me my prom pictures from the 7th grade.
You went to a prom in 7th grade?
Yeah,
y'all like some country ass niggas.
Well, it's
we gonna make them feel good.
It's the Sadie Hawkins dance. It's
Sadie
really
Hawkins.
Yeah, it's when the girls get to pick the guys they want to go out with.
That shit.
Yeah, that's what you ever heard of that? Where the girls pick the guys. Shit. Yeah, it's definitely some
country nigga shit.
Yeah, definitely some country nigga shit.
In the city.
Definitely, Mike, fly down here, nigga. Come fuck with me. I had 2 girls the same night. I had 2 girlfriends, and they knew. And it was like all my friends was like, "You the man, you the man." And in the 7th grade, I just knew that that's how my life was gonna be. Like when you was in the 7th grade, what kind of person you was? Watch this.
7th grade,
personality.
No, 7th grade, I just came back down here from Michigan. So my personality really wasn't defined. I've been the same like how I am now.
Weirdo then. Weirdo now.
Yeah, how I am. Yeah.
That's what he finna say.
But no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you know what's so crazy?
This nigga finna say I've been the same since the 7th grade.
I know I've been the same like this since I was like in kindergarten, 1st grade.
But we talking about 7th grade, so you definitely been the same since 7th.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like definitely.
So what word would you use to describe your personality? You know, eclectic. I joke eclectic. Okay, so if you're calling yourself eclectic, when I first met you, y'all see this man on this show. Y'all see his swagger. Y'all see me and him got good chemistry. We good friends. We laugh. Y'all see that we do well on this show talking. But he called himself eclectic. When I first met this nigga, I called him the weirdo. So what do you mean? You're proving my point.
You know what's so crazy
saying,
though is
your 7th grade self.
I was called Gonzo. I was called Gonzo, but not because I was a weirdo, but because I had a big nose. My nose had to grow up. My face had to go into my nose.
Yeah, all that's weird. Big nose motherfucker that looked like Gonzo back in the day.
I had schnauzer with big lips.
Yeah.
Boy, they call them suit coolers. They thought it was a turtleneck around my face.
7th grade self, Jamal. Who was you in the 7th grade?
I was a class clown nigga that people knew that'll beat you up to.
Yeah,
ain't that kind of what you are? Funny, cool guy. Now you ain't overly aggressive. You are your.
But you know, I didn't become an athlete and the like cool guy until high school.
And that's why I can fuck with you now.
I was kind of neutral.
Yeah, you see that weirdo guy.
Well, in middle school and in middle school, I was kind of like a neutral
weirdo
person. No, I'm just wherever you want to call it.
I was the guy. I was the guy in this. Look, when you go to my hometown, when my wife came to my hometown for my class reunion, she discovered who I was. My friends, everybody was like, "You married to a celebrity?" Like. They like Javon is supposed to be something.
Or maybe I was neutral even in high school. But I mean, like it was different because I didn't get treated like a non-cool person or whatever. But I wasn't top of the food chain type person. But everybody, like I used to throw parties.
Yeah, you regular guy, regular dad.
No, I'm saying I used to throw parties. Like, so we had this golf course.
Yeah.
Mooresville Golf Course, down Trump about that matter of fact. But I was the first black kid. I was the only black kid throwing parties at this motherfucking white golf course and shit. So it just became like, hey, we went to this party and it was like all black kids or whatever. So I really and I wasn't cool, like, you know, saying everybody be like in the sense of like how you say you was cool.
Yeah.
Or whatnot. But I wasn't like on the outs. But I would hang with some of the people that weren't considered cool as well, like the nerds and the geeks and stuff like that. I kind of like walked in between all my life, walked in between that line.
It's like you say, for example, like somebody like me, I fuck with everybody, but I have always been the guy when I walk in the room, everybody's going to come to where I'm at, no matter what. And so what it is, I realized they was telling in my hometown, I'm an underachiever.
Yeah.
They like, nigga, you supposed to be something. Like, what the fuck are you waiting on? Like, they really feel like say, for example, and this is not ragging, this is telling the truth about my personality. And I got it I won the storytelling contest countywide from kindergarten to 8th grade. They put me out.
Yeah.
They said you can't do it no more. Telling an animated story as a kid.
Yeah.
Kindergarten. I'm telling animated stories. The teacher, they filming, you know what I'm saying? As a little kid, like,
yeah.
So I've always been like that. And if I would have always been a cornball, I would be a cornball now. You know
I think
what I'm
it would have
saying?
been different if that would have happened at a later age.
What's that?
Like with your storytelling and everything.
Yeah.
If it would have happened at a later age, because what happens is adults make children peak early. And when those children peak early, they have high expectations.
Exactly.
They set a certain bar.
And you fall off early.
Yeah. So the kids that didn't peak early, they don't have such a high ceiling. The bar is kind of low for them. So then when they do get over that bar later on in life, they're peaking later on in life, and that's when you see
maturity and everything.
Yeah, you can see a difference. So just like you see a 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old is really great in basketball and football, I wouldn't hold that kid to that standard. Oh, you're the best, you're the greatest.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I'd be like, you can get better.
You know what's funny? What I want to talk about too, like I said, Chris and Tammy was just having a great conversation, and they realized, like, yo, we was gonna be those kind of fast girls and kind of girls that like the fast scene any fucking way, because we still gravitate to that shit now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like certain things about life, like it's certain things when me and Chris go out, we don't go out to the club unless we go into the strip club. We both like ratchet music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We like, I don't want to hear no fucking good music when I'm out. If it don't make the strippers shake their ass, I don't want to be around that shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like me as a man, like sometimes I say, well, I got molested or da. I was gonna be a nasty motherfucker anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. That's when I said 7th grade self. Like a lot of the stuff we try to blame, and we it's almost like I'm caveating because I'm coming up with these topics. I want us to talk about one day life in general as a man. So say, for example, I was telling her friend Tammy, I was like, you know what? We just live in life, and life is the absence of death.
Yeah.
If we're not dead, we're living our lives. For some reason, we think life is this picture idea that we didn't paint it on a movie screen for ourselves, mixed with the expectations of our parents in the world. And we thinking it's like, okay, if I'm not that, I'm gonna give you a perfect example of what I mean so you can see what I'm saying, of what I'm saying about the example. You know how many people told me, you were supposed to be Kevin Samuels. You was talking about this shit for years, and you should be making this much money off YouTube. And
well, y'all motherfuckers should have been sharing the goddamn shit. What the fuck y'all talking about?
But you see my point. So if I look at my life as literally, I'm not dead. This is the results of the decisions I'm making now. This is my life. If I looked at my life as like, oh, I should have did this by now, or what the people think, that's where you be feeling fucked up at.
Yeah, because you got an expectation in your life.
Yeah, I want us to talk about that.
Like
remember,
I feel like you box yourself in like that when you do that, because now you living by somebody else's guidelines.
Is there not a pressure as men to know that people are watching you, evaluating you, and you're watching and evaluating yourself?
You know what? With social media taught me to let that shit go. And the reason I say that, when you met me, what was my name?
Shango.
All right. How many motherfuckers was walking around on social media with those African names and talking about the Orishas and all that shit, right?
Nobody at that time. Definitely nobody.
But I would post videos and I would see 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people look at my video.
Yeah.
But I got 5 likes, 2 comments.
Because they don't want to be affiliated with the weirdo.
Because they don't, you get what I'm saying.
But that's really why though.
But no, I'm just saying though, even like when a motherfucker say to you, same motherfuckers are saying to you, you should have been the first Kevin Samuels. You should have been this, you should have been that. Those same motherfuckers was watching your shit, but not liking your shit.
But the same way Kevin got on or anybody got on. That's the point I'm making.
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah. But see, my point is,
they don't care. Those are the ones that don't care at all anyway. I see what you're saying.
What I'm saying is the same way that Kevin Samuels got on is the same way that they, like, basically the shit that everybody did for Kevin Samuels is the shit those same motherfuckers should have been doing for you.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I see exactly what you mean.
So then, like,
but if I judge my life,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I was getting to.
Boy, I'll be a depressed motherfucker.
That's what I'm getting to, right?
Because I feel like everybody done been stealing my jokes, and so if I judge my life off that shit, boy,
that's what I'm getting at. I
have felt bad about it.
But that's what I'm getting at, right? Because then I started seeing all these people popping up. I started seeing shit that I had been saying, like I did the thing about the 13th Amendment.
Yeah.
In 2008. I did the thing about now all of a sudden there's a whole documentary about it.
Yeah.
Just like I was talking about, niggas be talking about reparations and shit.
Yeah.
So I just sat there and told you basically the lawsuit for reparations is Plessy versus Ferguson.
Yeah.
Some motherfucker gonna come out, they're gonna listen to this shit and they're gonna come out with a whole thing about Plessy versus Ferguson to make the argument because they allow for legal discrimination in the United States of America.
You know why I'm doing this comedy show, man? A real comedian would hit me up and be like, bro, I seen this on your Facebook page. How much would you charge me for that joke? I'd be like, I said, how much would you pay me for that joke? He said, I give you $500. You let me just tell that joke. I'd be like, shit. And I'll give you another one. You know what I'm saying? And the brother hit me up like, bro, do a show. You got to do a show. Cause he's open for Dave Chappelle, everybody. And he like, bro, they talking about you. He's like, they talk about how people steal Javon Clark's jokes.
Yeah.
The guy, they like the big guy from Facebook, and like, oh, everybody. He like, bro, I'm telling you. And that's what made me decide I'm gonna really pursue comedy, because this man ain't lying to me, because he done paid me for jokes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so there was a time where I stopped, even now, like getting back into the podcasting with you. How many people like, you should have a podcast? I ain't want to do that shit.
Yeah. And it was time.
Yeah. So now it's like having sat down with you and having a good time. It feels right.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing it to make the money and for my life to be around it. At one time, I was getting so much money from social media, I felt the pressure to always put up something, And then when I was like, you know what, fuck that shit. This shit is depressing to me.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, since I've been talking with you, and it's like, okay, I can do my own podcast by myself where it's just me rapping. And if you come, you come. And I said that shit exactly 2 minutes and 22 seconds and 22 fucking ticks of it.
Here's the crazy part, right?
Crazy.
If I go back, if I could get my Facebook reopened up, and I go on there, I got shit that I used to say. Motherfuckers got mad at me, blocked me, reported me. When I put that shit up, black men secretly hate their mothers.
You actually, because I think you got blocked for that or something. And whatever the point I'm making is, that really put me on a tangent of speaking on it, because you had got blocked. I just wanted to see how that looked. That looked too girly. I'm gonna get some different backgrounds. But once I started speaking on it, that kind of took off.
Yeah,
that gave me a lot more traction too.
And the guys that started coming in, it was some dudes, because you remember it was that football player's mom walked off when he chose
Alabama.
He went to
Florida over Alabama.
She got mad, walked off, and he was like, "Hey, it's just my mom. You know, that's how she do." And you could tell he was embarrassed.
Destroyed that boy.
He could tell he was embarrassed, and you could tell that that's really how she fucking acts
all the time.
But he wanted to take up for her.
Yeah.
But deep down, I hear men say,
he should have said, "Man, when I go pro, that bitch better not get. She better do the same
when
thing."
I hear men say,
"When I get drafted, that bitch better walk out."
Like white kids used to be like, "My mom's a bitch."
Yeah, they would say it.
Now, black men, what they say is, "Man, my mom be acting like a bitch sometimes." Anytime you can come out your mouth
and say that
and use your mother in reference to bitch,
I never thought about it like that.
I have never, not one day in my life, referred to my mom as a bitch. And if you call,
because she had a husband and won't struggling like a single mother bitch.
And the crazy thing is, my mom had to stop me from fighting because if motherfucker said, "Your mom's a bitch," I would drag that motherfucker. Like, you ain't gonna, my dad don't disrespect my mom. We don't disrespect her. So I'd be damned if a motherfucker outside the house. And my mom was like, they're just words. You know, she's like, they're words. And I was like, they hurt. She's like, I understand that. But at the same time, don't go out here risking your livelihood
and your freedom
over a motherfucker running their mouth. They don't run their mouth as long as they don't put their hands on you. But when I hear men refer and talk about their mother, and they say
that mean the mom was really a bitch.
They don't like
but like you said, the white kids are just saying, my mom's a bitch. She's been a bitch. She's an
That's
asshole.
the norm for them.
They just say, like, when I was growing up, my white friends used to say that shit. I was like, God damn. Well, look, family, it's been 2 hours and 25 minutes. It's conversation, we started tangent on the end because we just fucking off. But we're gonna get back into these conversations. We're gonna be rapping on Sundays. We're gonna try to get a time set in concrete. Jim guy right here.
About 3:30. Hey, you know what though? Even when we riff, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still.
Yeah. I'm just saying we're gonna try to get a time to where people can know. Boom, and I can make a flyer for it.
Yeah, about 3:30.
Yeah, okay. At 3:30 on Sunday.
Yeah.
So we're gonna work on that.
I think people really like it whenever, like, we have our topic, right?
Yeah.
I think they enjoy it more when we start
just with being silly, riffing off, what I'm saying?
I think they enjoy more because it's that right there becomes like beyond just the stuff that we're already thinking about, or whatever, and it becomes more of a freestyle.
Yeah, definitely. But just being a school teacher, I always like to have
school teachers
something to talk about. Like, now, if we could come up this bitch and just sit here and talk, I mean,
I be getting mad.
I just can't imagine myself doing that.
School teachers,
there's not a topic, but it can happen.
School teachers piss me off, especially black school teachers.
Yeah, I ain't no school teacher no more.
No, I'm just saying that. You know why black school teachers piss me off?
Let me tell you something. I always say if I had a school, I would hire all gay and lesbian teachers. For some reason, they just be better teachers.
Nah, it's not even about.
We ain't gonna let them indoctrinate them.
I don't know about
it's about.
I don't like black teachers now either.
It's about standing up for what's right.
Yeah.
And what's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you have your black history teachers, and they know this shit fucked up.
Yeah.
And they not fighting for it. The educators aren't fighting for, hey, look, this some bullshit.
Well, teachers ain't got no union in North Carolina.
No, it ain't even about having a union. That the motherfucker, you don't even have to have a union to fucking unite.
Oh, well, that's a whole nother subject.
Yeah, that's a whole nother
motherfuckers
thing.
need that bread. Goddamn it, teaching is a stable job. You got state employment and all that. So them
just indoctrinating kids in the white supremacy all day long.
Exactly.
Since 1865.
Actually,
since 1954.
Let me tell you why I stopped teaching. Because I really one day was sitting in class and I was like, yo, this is some glorified mammy shit. Like, there are certain things that the white man will hire black people to do that's really glorified mammy shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we'll let you get your degree to be a social worker. Go over there and look in that house and see is that man touching them kids. A black woman don't need no degree for that. Bring that motherfucker out here. Oh, giving them goddamn kids. That motherfucker look nasty. You black woman don't need no degree for that.
Not really.
Shit like being a social worker, deciding who get food stamps, school teaching, making us tell lies while we babysit kids.
But you know what I like?
So, well, let me finish. A lot of times we say our black women think that they more college educated us and all that. No, you're getting more glorified mammy positions. And I felt that shit as a man, as a school teacher, which something that's when I was growing up was like esteemed. I felt like a glorified mammy in that bitch. You can't tell them you can't use the cell phones. You can't tell them this. You got to let the gays kiss. You got to let them hold hands. It's like I can't, and I got to teach them lies, and I can't tell them to sit down either.
Look, my son,
I'm a goddamn man.
My son's taking his college courses this year, right?
Yeah.
My son's taking his college courses, and one of his classes is the history of music.
Yeah.
So he was like, our teacher taught us that music started in the Victorian era. I was like, ask your teacher where the harp came from.
Yeah.
The flute, the lute, and all these, like I'm starting to.
How you thinking white folks invented music?
Every fucking thing.
Right.
And they got Area 51. They called it Alien too, Dad.
Yeah. So it's like I used to get in trouble because my parents used to have all this shit. And we used to learn this stuff, and I would get in trouble because I'd be like, nah, that's not true. Yeah. And when I look at it and I think about it, right?
Yeah.
We just letting our kids just willy-nilly. And this is how come you're talking about black men. This goes back to manhood.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we have an issue with so many black men, because they'll argue with you like women about shit because they learned this in school. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm educated. But like the great Carter G. Woodson said, if y'all know who he is, he's the guy who invented Black History Month. He said, when the person says I'm educated, ask them of whose education do you speak?
And you know another thing you just said, like Hop said, it's the same thing how y'all say y'all want to hear trap music, your listeners want to hear y'all talk shit. Man, that's one thing I say about a motherfucking nigga, and people get mad at me. We genuinely kind of just hate any authority.
In some degrees, I think that's just as people in general. People don't like to be told what to do.
I know, but okay, but it's a difference in not in that and breaking the law though.
Yeah.
It's so many things
here in America.
I be like, God damn, nigga, you want to break the law for every fuck. It almost be, say for example, when I see cop asks a person for their ID, pull my phone out again. You know how many times the cops ask me for my ID? There's a scripture in the Bible say you don't fear the law of the king when you ain't done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Now that don't mean the nigga might not shoot me and fuck me up, but you're not in fear when you ain't done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
My homeboys, this cop said, ain't nobody looking, paying attention but the criminals and the cops.
Yeah, that's why I hate when motherfuckers
nigga
be
say,
like,
if he see if he make eye contact with you once, okay, that's just an accident. I'm a cop. If I look over a couple more seconds and you looking at me again, he coming to cost your ass because you a criminal.
That's why I hate when motherfuckers be like, man, the federal government, you know, they watching everything we do. They tapped into our phones. I was like, well, I guess they're gonna get a bunch of dick pics from me. Hey, look, because I'm just like, why?
Hey, look, I'm gonna hook my Rose Pods. We gonna get some goddamn sound effects for your
because
ass.
I'm just trying to figure out.
We gonna get one
because I'm just trying to figure out why I don't care. I don't care what the government. I ain't doing shit.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. The government can watch me all day long.
Yeah.
I don't care. There'd be regular, everyday people that ain't doing a motherfucking thing, worrying about the government watching them or the government's trying to control it.
Yeah, I ain't worried about all that shit.
I see this thing. Jamie Foxx risked his life with they clone Tyrone to tell us the truth. Like, motherfucking niggas been saying this shit for about 100 years.
Man, you know how many people it took to make that movie?
You
that
think
they said like Jamie did this shit by himself. It take 1,000 motherfuckers to make a movie.
I guess he risked his life because he was doing 1,000 motherfuckers jobs. I guess that's what it was.
I'm gonna tell you something. What I was saying earlier before we get out of here, like what I was saying, just about living your life, which is your life. There's no right or wrong to your life. I can smoke crack tomorrow if I want to.
Yeah,
I can blow my motherfucking head off if I want to, and I don't have to care if a motherfucker think he must have been going through some shit. Right. No, you know what I'm saying? It be so many situations where I literally sit back and I think about it, and I say, God damn.
Hey, shh. The government listening.
Yeah. Right now they is. It be so many situations where I sit back and I think about, like, yo, motherfuckers are really out here. So I call it the silent applause.
Yeah.
It's the claps that you hear in your head when you think the world is proud of you.
When you said the claps.
it's like,
nigga, I was thinking.
I know, yeah, this nigga is crazy.
It's like the claps and you. It's almost like if you go outside and you got on your good shit and you thinking you looking good, you walk differently. Like,
yeah, motherfucker.
I hear the world clapping for me.
Motherfucker be like, yeah, you looking at me, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Motherfucker get that George Jefferson stroll on.
Exactly. Or the days that, or life, like in your life. I remember when I first was like, I'm finna leave my ex-wife. I'm like, I'm leaving this bitch. We cool to this day, but I'm like, I'm leaving her.
Did your chest get big?
No, this is the point of it. Boy, I heard so many silent boos from people.
It's like this disdain look.
That didn't even give a fuck. In my mind, when I talk to my sisters, right? I talk to my little sister, and when I talk to my cousins and my family about it, I was like, yeah, because you know, grandma was the only one married, and then it was me and my wife, we built the house from the ground up, and I was like the only man married in the family, being an example for the family, how to buy some land and do shit like they was like, motherfucker, we won't even look at this shit like that.
Nigga, we ain't give a fuck about you. We ain't give a fuck about you.
Oh shit. I thought divorcing my wife was just gonna make my whole family be like,
was they like
you was the one that was doing
hell
right?
Nah,
and everybody loved and looked up to you. They were like, motherfucker, we do. You won't go stay married too long.
Like that. We was trying to tell you that shit wasn't gonna work from the get-go.
Right. Right.
Yeah, they literally like, motherfucker, we didn't expect you to get married. We expect, nigga, you had 2 fucking girlfriends in the 7th grade. We expected you to have 5, 6 bitches. We didn't expect you to ever get married. Right. So that's what I mean when I say them silent boos. I had it created in my head. I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to break this shit to my little sisters. They look up to me like a father figure.
Hey, you know what's so crazy? You know what's so crazy?
Got them snotting up and shit.
You got a lot of men.
I know it ain't my fault, y'all, but I had to leave this base.
You got men who come from families of married men who get married under pressure. Yeah. And that's why their marriages don't work, because they feel they have to live up to a standard of that shit.
Homies I know, man, and that's exactly what you saying.
Yeah,
because they come from that family, they come from the families, and they seen that was the standard.
Yeah, and
so they like shit. Well, I gotta do that, and I gotta have it. Yeah. And so they force themselves inside of some shit, even whenever they're not even ready.
And I'm the exact opposite. I did it because nobody did it, and I felt like I wanted to go the opposite of all the low life motherfuckers that chose to not do anything.
So like my homeboy, he said, I never heard anybody, none of the men in my family talk about getting married. It's always coming from the women, right? And I said, what's so crazy in my family? I always heard, boy, when you gonna get married, have some children, settle down, have some children. And I heard that from the men or whatever. But I never felt that pressure to get married because I seen so many marriages and so many divorces.
Man, the men in my family.
This battery about to go out. So I don't want the show to end on a dead note where it just clink out. So family, we gonna see y'all next week or Monday.
Welcome figured to the out Black Man Show.
Y'all already hold it down. Nigga talk. We call it nigga talk. NIGGER talk.